Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? Most importantly, how is your preparation going on? I hope you all are on track with the preparation of every subject, every paper. And by now, since we are in mid of our syllabus, so I'm sure that you all would be now very much into various subjects, their concepts, and you'll also at the same time preparing your notes, doing your own solving, and finding out what you find difficult, what you find a bit not so comfortable in any topic, in any chapter, so that whenever there is a need, you can connect back to us. Whenever we are taking any revision in any of the future classes, you can connect to the faculty and get your queries resolved. But for this, it is very, very, very important that you have your own markings ready beforehand so that when the time comes, you all are ready with your queries. So the time has come now. I request you all to ask your queries upfront if there are any, so that we can take up your queries and then I'll proceed to deal with the further part of our deliberation today. So students, chalo, from your side first. If anybody wants me to unmute, I'll unmute you so that you can ask your query by raising it as a question. If you want, you can put it in the chat box. I'll take your query from the chat box. Chalo, students, waiting for your inputs. Wow. Okay. So, yes, very, very good evening, Navneet. Good evening, Anubhav. Yes, Santosh, good evening. Soni, good evening. Pooja, good evening. Geeta, Deepika, Medha, Jaya, Namrata. Yes, very, very good evening to all of you all. Okay, so I start with question of Anubhav. Anubhav says 12.7 explanation part. Okay, 12.9, 12.11. Good. Anyways, you have section 10 and 12 only. So it's good that you read section 12. As of now, I'm doing 3 subjects only. Okay, fine. That's okay. Medha, if you have made your own plans and your own schedule, that is very fine. Yes, same here, Mustafa Beda. I'm equally excited to discuss a very interesting part in today's topic, which is place of supply. Okay, let me just fast track and go back to what we did up till now. Right, so I'll take the let us recapitulate section from your module so that I can do fast track revision, and then I will take you to the new part, the latest part. Okay, Medha says, okay, super, Medha. Okay, Kairavi. Anyways, we are yet to do section 12. Na? So when I'm dealing with section 12 in detail, at that time, Kairavi, I'll answer you, I'll answer Anubhav. Okay, Meta, we'll take up this point also. So if I remember correctly, we completed place of supply section 12, section 10, which deals with place of supply of goods for domestic transactions. 11, I just gave you a mention that it is dealing with import and export, but not covered in your syllabus. Then we went to section 12, and before going to 12, I explained you in depth the location of supplier, location of recipient, definition, what it includes, what it will not include. And then we just started with section 12. I just dealt with the brief of section 12, and I just took section 12.3, which is for immovable property. This is what I last recall. I'm sure my memory is going correct as far as what we have completed, right? And today I have to go in detail from section 12.4 onwards and come back to section 12.2, which is the generic rule. But before that, a quick revision. We are talking about place of supply of goods other than import export, that is for domestic transactions. You have total 6 scenarios given. First, where supply involve movement, and when there are only two parties. The place of supply is the place where the movement terminates. In short, it is the location of the recipient where the goods are to be delivered. Where there are three persons involved, in that case, the place of supply, here they are using the word third person. That day also I told you the drafting of clause B is slightly, according to me, not so clear, but the intent is to make the billing party as the place of supply and not the delivery party. So delivery address here is not the place of supply. The billing address, the bill to address is the place of supply. When it is as is, where is basis, that is no movement is involved. So I gave you example of purchasing a ready office. In that case, the place of supply is the location of goods at the time of delivery. So it is the location of the office itself where the goods are. Then wherever it is over the counter sales, that is supply is made to unregistered persons, or it is through online. But the main point is that the supply is made to unregistered persons. Now here there are two scenarios. If there is any address mentioned of the recipient on the invoice, that address is the place of supply. It may be even only the name of the state. In case no state is mentioned or no address is mentioned, then it is the location of the supplier. So where no address is recorded on the invoice, it is the location of the supplier. Next, where goods are to be assembled or installed, the place of supply is the place of assembly installation. Where the goods are to be supplied while you are in journey and they are to be supplied to you on board the conveyance, the place of supply is the place where these goods were taken on that conveyance. That is where they were loaded, onboarded on the conveyance. And then a generic rule, a residuary rule, that if place of supply cannot be determined above because there is some other case scenario, then it will be in the prescribed manner, that is by way of rules. But there are no rules presently for this because everything is for the time being covered. And then you have section 12, which deals with place of supply of service where both the supplier and recipient are in India. This is what I call as domestic transactions. 13, which is not part of your syllabus, is dealing with the scenario where one of the persons, either the supplier or the recipient, is outside India. So one is in India, one is outside India. That scenario is covered in section 13. We call it as international transaction for services, but it is not part of your syllabus. Fine. Let me now go to the details of section 12. Okay. Now, in section 12, first is section 12 bracket 2, which is the residuary rule. What does 12 bracket 2 says? We have not studied. That will come back to study after we cover the specific rule. So general rule is covered in 12.2. We first started with the specific rules, which are covered from 12.3 onwards. Now 12.3 covers services in relation to immobile property. Also, it covers the services of lodging, accommodation, etc. in the immobile property. Now, what are the services covered? If you remember, first clause covers services which are having a direct relation to the immobile property, like those by some specific professionals who are engaged in providing some type of service which are directly performed on the immobile property for the immobile property. So there is a direct connection either because they are performed on the immobile property or they are performed for the immobile property. So the services of architect, interior decorators, surveyors, these are performed for the immobile property. Engineers and other experts, again, these are performed for the property. Similarly, estate agents. Then there are certain services which are performed on the property, like the services of construction. So where you are carrying out construction work, such services are performed on the property. So for the property, on the property. Then comes the third services where you are using, enjoying the property itself. So the subject matter is the property itself. How you have occupied the property by way of accommodation in a hotel, in guest house, homestay, club, campsite. Now till this, all these are immobile. Then you have two movable properties also coming up here, and that is why here nowhere you will find the word immobile. So it is houseboats or vessels. And then come another service where you are again enjoying the property, that is by way of arranging or organizing some type of event there. What type of event? Either a marriage or reception, or any type of official, social, cultural gatherings, or other subsidiary services relating to this. Like as you can see on the right hand side, the decoration work are done over there, that may be covered here. And then the last generic services ancillary to the above mentioned services. In all these cases, the place of supply is the location of this immobile property. In short, the place of supply is where the hotel is, the place of supply is where the construction is being carried out, the place of supply is where the property is or will be situated. Similarly, in case of boats, the place of supply is the location of the boat or the vessel. Here, a small problem comes that a boat or a vessel is continuously moving. So where you are, let us say, you have booked 4 days, 3 nights cruise, which is from Mumbai to Goa. Or what is that island that came in limelight last year after that Maldives created a lot of havoc. So what is the P dot number? Lakshadweep, yes. And I'm sure you all remember, Modi ji just went there for a day. He just posted some photos, and you found that people suddenly cancelled and shifted their destination to Lakshadweep. Now we have cruise running between different ports. So let us say the cruise is from Bombay to Lakshadweep. It is 3 nights, 4 days, that cruise. Now in that case, this boat is moving and it will be moving between or crossing the waters of different states and even going to Lakshadweep. Now in such cases, how will you determine the place of supply? Because the place of supply is the location where the boat is, but this boat is moving. In such cases, we have to go to the rules which have provided the breakup. So wherever your location is not going to be one single place, but you have paid a lump sum fees. Like for cruise, I have paid 50,000, but that cruise may be in 3 different states for some part in the whole journey. Then how it has to be determined, for that we'll go to rules. Similarly, let us say I am booking a stay. I have done booking with let us say what you call them as these travel partners, they call themselves as, where I book 10 night stay, but these 10 night stay are provided 2 nights, let us say in Jammu, 2 nights, let us say in Uttarakhand, 2 nights, let us say in Varanasi. So this 10-day stay, they are providing me in different places, in different hotels or inns or guest house. But the lump sum price for all these 10-day stays is 2 lakhs. Again, where there is a lump sum price, the question will come, The place of supply will be the different states because these properties are located in different states. Then how to bifurcate this lump sum? So wherever this question of lump sum will come, you have certain rules given for the purpose of the breakup. So where the immovable property or boat or vessel is located in more than one place, one state or union territory, how to bifurcate? So for this, the first answer is it has to be bifurcated in the proportion which would be as per the terms of the contract. So if the contract itself, where this you have agreed for paying this lump sum, like this travel partner contract where I'm paying 2 lakhs for 10 nights, 10 nights are in different places, or in case of cruise, the contract with the cruise, if that has specified the proportion of time the cruise would be in different states, we will simply take that proportion. But if that is not there, where this type of proportionate breakup is not available as per the contract, then the breakup would be done in this fashion. So how the breakup would be done? Where your contract terms are silent, that is what is provided by way of rules. Correct? Who will help me reading this? Yes, students. Bapre. 1 second. I think last time Medha had read. So chalo, I'm firstly unmuting Pooja.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Pooja. Where are you from, beta?
Mysore.
Mysore. Wow, beautiful place. So it is Mysuru, correct?
Yes,
Na?
sir.
Correct
Yes.
name is Mysuru, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Yes, Pooja, go ahead, please.
Services provided by way of lodging, accommodation, by hotel, in guest house, etc., and in ancillary services other than the case where such property is a single property located in two or more contiguous states, union territories, or both.
Contiguous states.
Contiguous. Okay, sir.
Read. Right side.
Okay. Number of nights stayed in such property.
So I just gave you example of the travel partner where he has given me a 10 nights package for rupees 2 lakhs lump sum. And these 10 nights are bifurcated in different properties in different states. So I'll be traveling to different properties, somewhere 2 nights, somewhere 3 nights. In such cases, the 2 lakhs will be apportioned plainly on the basis of number of nights stayed in each property. So if I'm staying, let us say somewhere 2 nights, somewhere 3 nights, somewhere 1 night, somewhere 2 nights. So simply in that ratio, I'll divide 2 lakhs so that I'll find the proportionate value of service of this accommodation applicable to each state, so that that much portion of GST will go to that state, because each state where I'm going to accommodate myself or where I'm going to stay will be the place of supply as per 12.3. Fine. Students, I hope you are understanding. I'm giving you a very simple real life examples so that you can understand each of these technical points. Pooja beta, go ahead.
All other services provided in relation to immovable property, including services by way of accommodation in any immovable property for organizing any marriage or reception, etc., and in case of supply of accommodation by a hotel in guest house, club, or campsite by whatever name called, where such property is a single property located in two or more contiguous states or in union territories.
Further,
services ancillary to services mentioned above. Area of immovable property lying in each state or union territories.
Actually, what this will cover, so by reading it says all other services provided in relation to immovable property, which includes services by way of accommodation, etc., etc. But when this point is applicable, where such property is a single property located in two or more states. Now, what type of example is this? You are accommodating in a property and the property is a single property. So see, understand the difference. In first case, clause A applies where I'm staying in different properties. So the answer was simple, number of nights. Point B applies when I'm staying in a single property and the property is such that it is located in two or more states. Now this is practically very, very less when this happens, but I'll tell you a practical example. Like there is a place called as Saputara, which is exactly at the border of Maharashtra and Gujarat. Now, let us say that Saputara, which is a hill station, it is falling at the border of Maharashtra and Gujarat. So it is on a hilltop, but that hill is divided in two parts. This means from some part, the area is in Gujarat, and from some part, the area is in Maharashtra. So you find similar examples at the bordering places. Now, let us say a person has put up a resort whereby the area of the resort is spread over the entire hill and it is spread over both sides. Now, see, many times it happens that when you had purchased that land or that property, this was a single state. Now, we have seen the history of our India post independence, that even post independence, not at the time of 1947, but later on, there were splits between various states, and one single state was converted to different smaller states. Like Andhra got split into Andhra and Telangana. Like even earlier, Mumbai was a separate province at the time of Britishers. Later on, from that, we made Maharashtra, Gujarat. Means some part of Mumbai came to Maharashtra, and then there was Gujarat, which is separate. So Gujarat was not there at the start. So you'll find that there are multiple such examples. Then you have Chhattisgarh, you have Jharkhand. Very soon it may be even Jammu and Kashmir. Now it may happen that my property, the piece of land which I am having, is majorly in two or more states, or actually it was in one state, but later on, because of split, as per the borders, it got spread between two states. Now, for such very specific case scenario, you have this answer where it is saying that you have occupied one single property. So I went to that resort. The price of the resort is, let us say, per night 20,000. I am staying there for 3 nights, so it is 60,000. Now I am staying in one resort only. I am not changing the property, but the property layout is such that it is spread over two or more states. Then they are saying, how will you bifurcate? It will be bifurcated on the basis of area of that entire resort. What proportion of area is in Maharashtra? What proportion of area is in Gujarat? Students, I hope you all understood this. Fine. So when this case B is applicable, I hope it is clear. And then case C is applicable for my cruise example. Yes, Pooja.
Services by way of lodging, accommodation by a houseboat or vessel and its ancillary services. Time spent by the boat or vessel in each such state or union territories to be determined on the basis of declaration made by service provider.
So my example, that I hired a cruise for a price of, let us say, rupees 2 lakhs for all my family members. And this cruise is from Bombay to Lakshadweep. And in this entire journey of 3 nights, 4 days, it would be traveling or crossing different state boundaries. Now, in such cases, each state will be the place of supply. But again, how? So answer is, in such cases like the cases of boats and vessels, it will be on the basis of time spent by the boat in each state waters. So whatever is the time spent, and who will decide this? It will be given as a declaration by the service provider itself, that is the cruise company. So anyways, they have to maintain the records for their other reasons. So they are anyways maintaining the record, how much time they were in the waters of Maharashtra. Then let us say they travel to the waters of Kerala, whatever. So they maintain this particular timesheet. And on the basis of the timesheet provided by them, your fees that you paid to them will be bifurcated by them in the ratio to be apportioned to each state. Correct? So here they have given those examples as to how you determine. Okay. Also to inform you all students, today you will have the Titan quiz contest from 8 onwards. So the last part of your session 8 to 8:30 will be the Titan quiz, for which when I will be giving you break around 7:45, 7:50, the link would be shared and you all are supposed to join the link. Now you all know the process. So the link would be shared with you in the break, and during the break you will be joining that link so that you can be ready for the quiz. Now Medha has a question. So here where we are gonna stay, GST will be charged accordingly. Okay. Suppose on first part of hotel is X place and the other part is Y place. No, but I did not get this. See, I think you're talking about the B case, Meda, where the resort is spread over two states. Place means state, right? If you are staying in two places which are falling in the same state, this is not a problem. So X place in your example means X state and Y place means Y state. Now let us say the resort is spread over two states, as I gave you example. Correct. I gave you a real life example, Saputara, which is a hill station and which is sharing boundaries of both Maharashtra and Gujarat. Now, in such cases, if I have a resort in Saputara where the resort is spread over both the states because some part of the resort falls in Maharashtra boundary and some part in this, then we apply rule B. Rule B says that since you know how much area is falling in which state, it will be simply apportioned in the races on the basis of area, but it will not on the basis of which part of the hotel I stay. Because see, my stay unit, wherever the accommodation may be in some type of a hotel room is there, or let us say nowadays in resorts you have different types of so many things where you all say you have some hut type of arrangement or you have some tent type of arrangement. That may be in one part, but that does not mean that I will take the place of supplies that state, because when I'm in a resort, I'm using the entire resort facility. So maybe the dining is in another part. Maybe the play area, the pool is in some other part. So you cannot say where you are staying because I'm staying in the whole resort. The price which I'm paying is for consuming entire resort. So here it will not depend upon where my exact location of my tent is. It is not the place where I'm staying because I'm booking the resort. Resort includes the entire resort. Fine, Medha? Arun Sagar, there is a big difference between A and C. A is applicable to immovable property. C is applicable to movable property. A is where you are staying in different hotels. C is where you are in a boat, in a vessel, and the vessel is moving. In A, you are moving. Correct, Arun Sagar? Students, I hope things are clear up to this point. Correct? Now, in this same section, there is one very important case scenario. That case scenario is, what if your hotel, your boat is located outside India? So let us say I have to travel to UK for some assignment. Now I'm sure you all would be knowing. Now, last year, our government announced that India will now become the accounting hub of the world, like how we have become the IT hub. So last year, the government announced that India will become the accounting hub of the world. And you are seeing in past around 1 year, we are having multiple tie-ups, multiple outsourcing work of accounting taxation flowing from other countries to India. So let us take that example. In that relation, I traveling to UK. In this case, Medha is saying, sir, in my book is different from your book. Is that a latest book? I don't know, Medha, whether this is latest or not. I just had downloaded it from the BOS portal. Now, I don't know which one is latest, but better don't worry. Even if the page numbers are plus minus, the content is same. There is no major amendment, right? Okay. Coming back to the point, students. So we were discussing this, that, so let us say I'm traveling UK. Now for going there, I need to stay over there for, let us say, 10 days for the time I am having my meetings over there with different probable clients of whom work I am planning to get and which I'm going to use here as my backend outsourcing work in India. Now, since I have to stay for 10 days, I try to find out if I can get a good stay place, and I am being informed that Manisha is having a place in UK. So I contact Manisha R, and she's having a place in UK, a very good property which she has constructed for herself whenever she travels there. So I contact her. I say that, boss, I need your property for 10 days stay. She says, yes, sir. I'll charge you rupees 2 lakh Indian rupees. I'll say, fine. Now, in this particular case, I go and stay in that property and I pay this rent to Manisha. Now, in this particular case, the question is whether the place of supply will be determined by section 12 or 13. Answer is section 12. Why? The reason is why section 12 and not 13? Because both the supplier, who is Manisha, and the recipient, that is me, both are having location in India. But the property is outside India. That makes no difference. See, understand one thing, students, 12 and 13, both these sections depend upon where the supplier and recipient are and not where the services are performed or services are enjoyed. So, even though I'm going to stay, I'm going to use the services of a property where the property is outside India. But to determine place of supply, we check section 12. And as per section 12, where the property is outside India, the place of supply shall be the location of the recipient. So in this particular case, I am from Mumbai. Manisha is, let us say, from Chennai. The property is in UK. Now, for this particular renting service, the place of supply will be Mumbai, Maharashtra. That is my location of the recipient. Correct? Students, this is the end of section 12.3 from my side. If anybody had any questions, I'm trying to recheck the chat box because originally somebody had put a question. Now I'm unable to locate that. Anyways, if you all still have any questions in 12.3, that is relating to this immobile property services, you may please post it again so that I can answer that and we proceed. Somebody had put that you have doubt in some illustration, page number 4.35. I hope your doubt has been addressed. Yes, students, the person who had posted this doubt. 4.35, somebody had posted that you have a doubt. Kairvi. So if you're talking about the advertisement services sector, I have come to that. We are dealing with that. Yes. Pooja, are you there, beta, to read?
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead, beta.
Clarification regarding place of supply in case of supply of services in respect of advertising sector. Advertising companies are often involved in procuring space on hoardings, billboards.
Hoardings. See this, you can see the image. Like you'll find this nowadays in many places. These are the hoardings or the boards which are installed over buildings, which you can see from roads. That is what is hoardings or billboards.
Okay. Hoardings or billboards erected and mounted on buildings or land in different states from various vendors for providing advertisement services to its corporate clients. There may be a variety of arrangements between the advertising company and its vendors as below.
Okay. Now, before I start explaining this, let us first understand. Let us take again an example. I am the owner of this building. As you can see, there is a building. I am the owner of this building. Correct? Let us say Pooja is this advertising agency or the advertiser or this particular person who provides people this advertisement space. Now, she first contacts me saying that, sir, your property is on prime location. Your buildings is visible from 3 different corners when any vehicle is stationed on some signal. So from 3 angles, your property is visible. So I wish to install a hoarding on your property. I said, fine. I would require per month 5 lakhs as the rent because I'm allowing you to use my terrace space. In this particular case, students, again, I'll repeat, we had discussed this earlier also. Whenever you are dealing with service transactions, you should first decode the transaction into who is providing service to whom. First leg of this transaction is where the owner of the building is renting out the building space to the advertising company, advertising agency, which in my example is Pooja. She is paying me 5 lakh rupees rent per month for occupying this particular building space. What is the place of supply, or firstly, which section is applicable for this? Section 12 bracket 3, which we are reading right now, is applicable because it is a service directly in relation to occupying an immovable property, which is my building's space. Here comes the second leg of this transaction. Now, first leg is done. The place of supply between me and Pooja is as per 12.3 because it is a renting of immovable property service. Now comes the second service. What is that? Which Pooja is giving to different companies who wants to put their products advertisement or their companies some logo, some launch, any type of advertisement on the hoarding. Now here Pooja becomes supplier, and the person who is taking these hoardings on rent, or we again call it as a rent, they are the recipients. Now who are they? They are different companies, they are different businessmen who wants that location to put their hoardings. Now here Pooja is again giving to them that hoarding space for a monthly rent of rupees 10 lakhs, where she will be pasting the respective flex is that design of the respective companies, whoever they are, whoever wants to market or advertise themselves, she will be pasting their flex, their advertisement on her hoarding. This is the second leg of service, correct? So first be very clear, we are talking about which leg because the answer to that will change, correct? So you may now start reading from issue.
There may be a case wherein there is a supply of space or supply of rights to use the space on the hoardings or structure belonging to vendor to the client or advertising company for display of their advertisement on the side hoardings or structure. What will be the place of supply of services provided by the vendor to the advertising company in such case?
Now, see here, what may be confusing to you all are these terms. What? Supply of space first, or supply of rights to use the space on the hoarding. So let us not get into all these because these are all business jargons. People use different terminologies for different things. You should first understand what is the nature of service. If the nature of service is between the building owner and the advertising company, it will very well fall in 12.3. But if it is the contract between the advertising company and the businesses who wants to put their hoarding, the answer will be different. So read the clarification better.
The hoarding or structure erected on the land should be considered as immovable structure or fixture as it has been embedded in earth. Further, place of supply of any service provided by way of supply of space on an immovable property or grant of rights to use an immovable property shall be governed by the provisions of section 12.3a.
So simple. Transaction between the property owner who is allowing this advertising company to use their space to fix up that hoarding structure. See, hoarding structure is a metal structure. It will be installed either on the building terrace, or let us say I have an open land and they want to install or erect the structure. They may even take my land, where on my land, which is in a very prime location in some city or on some highway, they will erect that particular frame, which is a metal frame, and on that the hoardings would be pasted in future. So I am providing my space. So what is my service? It is supply of the space, and obviously this space is the immovable property, or you can also call it as grant of rights to use the immovable property, and hence it is 12.3a. So what is the answer? The place of supply of service provided by way of sale, supply of hoarding space on hoarding structure for advertisement or for a grant of right to use a hoarding structure for advertisement would be the location where such hoarding structure is installed. Correct? Now this is the first leg. Now read the second issue.
There may be another case where the advertising company wants to display its advertisement on hoardings or billboards at a specific location, availing the services of a vendor. The responsibility of arranging the hoardings or billboards lies with the vendor, who may himself own such structure or may be taking it on rent or rights to use basis from another person. The vendor is responsible for display of advertisement of the advertisement company at the said location. During this entire time of display of the advertisement, the vendor is in possession of the hoardings or structure at the said location on which the advertisement is displayed, and the advertising company is not occupying the space or the structure. In this case, what will be the place of supply of such services provided by the vendor to the advertising company?
Go ahead.
Clarification. In this case, as the services is being provided by the vendor to the advertising company and there is no supply of space or supply of right to use the space on hoardings or structure by the vendor to the advertising company for displaying of their advertisement on the said display
Board, structure,
board or structure, the said services does not amount to sale of advertising space or supply by way of grant of rights to use immovable property.
So what is clarified? First leg was the first issue. Building owner to the advertising company. Now here the problem is the terms are used differently. Second leg which we are talking about is by this advertising company who is actually over here called as vendor to the businessman who wants their ads to be displayed. Now when Pooja, who is the advertising company who has now taken that space from me and put that structure, is now going to allow different businesses to put their hoardings, to put their advertisements on this particular hoarding billboard which has been erected by Pooja, then whatever service she is giving to them is not providing a service of immovable property. Though you may say, ki, sir, ultimately that hoarding is on some building, the hoarding is on some land. But when land or that building space is provided by me to Pooja, that is covered in 12.3. But when now Pooja is allowing people to put their advertisements on this billboard, on this hoarding, that is not covered in 12.3. And since there is no other specific service, it will go to 12.2. So what is most important is such services provided by the vendor to the advertising company are purely in the nature of advertisement services. And you can very well understand and agree to this, that whatever service Pooja is giving to all these businesses where they are taking that hoarding space for 10 days or a month or 2 months and they want to display anything like nowadays. In fact, whenever there is launch of a new movie, you will find the movie posters put on these big hoardings which are on the side of the roads. Or at times when some new serial series is going to start, that is what is displayed. Or when elections will come, you'll find hoardings displaying different political parties or their leaders on that. So there are so many reasons for which this hoardings are being taken from the person who has erected that hoarding, and these hoardings are taken by businesses, political parties, or these producers of movies and serials. That is not renting of the space. That is not a service in relation to immovable property. So it is not covered in 12.3. And since there is no other specific subsection, hence it is 12.2. I hope now this part is very clear. The only confusing part according to me is because the businessman is over here called as advertising company, and actually whom I am calling as advertising company is called as vendor. So you just keep this in mind. I believe that once this is clear, the example which I gave you is clear, you'll understand this whole thing. Correct, Anil. You're right. Arun Sagar, is this applicable regardless registered and registered? But why you are getting into registered and unregistered? See, registration, how it will change the answer, because the service is in relation either to hiring that space, that is the building or the land, or it is by taking that holding on rent. So where the question of registered unregistered will come, that is applicable where we are in the general rule. So first we are checking whether we are in general rule or whether we are in specific rule. 12.3 onwards are all specific rule, and 12.3, which is relating to immovable property, has no reference of registered and unregistered. Yes, when we will go to 12.2, there is a reference of registered unregistered. But first, right now, the issue that we are discussing, Arun, is not what is the place of supply. Here we were trying to understand which section should apply, because both appears to be some immovable property taken on rent. Even the hoarding is appearing to be immovable property. So this is what they are clarifying. When any businessman is hiring the hoarding space, it is not renting of immovable property. That is a simple clarification. Then automatically you will get the answer of place of supply once you know which section to apply. See, please understand, identifying or knowing place of supply according to me is very easy because it is straightforward given in each of these subsections. What is difficult or what is tricky is to identify which subsection to refer. That is going to be more tricky. Otherwise, see, the answers are straightforward. That for this is the place of supply. So answer what is place of supply is easy. What we have to entertain or focus more on is what is the subsection applicable. Kabyajit, see, what you are saying is, if let us say someone is renting that space for the whole year for putting their advertisement, what will be the answer? Please understand. See, let us say I have my building. Now here Pooja is out of the example. I myself have constructed the hoarding space on my building, and you are coming and putting your advertisement. See, when you are hiring the hoarding space, it is not 12.3. It is not renting of immovable property for whatever period you hire, whether 10 days, 15 days, or a year. But let us say, taking another example, I have my building space. Directly, this businessman, like in your example, you are saying some movie producer comes or some serial which is running for now. Again, that Saas Bahu serial has started, and last time it made a huge record. It was in fact the first serial which went on for such long period before Tarak Mehta, and now that serial has been relaunched and the same characters are again relaunched. So I don't know what will happen this time. But the point is, let us say now you have such ongoing series. Now there is a possibility that the producer of this Saas Bahu serial decides that he will himself make that hoarding so that he can use that hoarding ongoing basis, maybe for this serial or for the next serial or for whatever that, because many times these producer companies are continuously having something. Now let us say that producer comes to me, ki boss, your building is on prime location and I want this space so that I can put up my hoarding. Means he himself will construct that structure and he will be changing the posters, whatever he wants. In that case, what he's taking from me is the space. So that is why I'm saying I bifurcated the whole transaction into two parts. The person who is taking my building space on rent, that is renting of immovable property, 12.3. The person who is taking only the hoarding space, that will not be 12.3, Kapyajit. I hope I have answered. It is irrespective of the period for which it is hired. Is this clear? Chalo. We now go to the next specific service, which is 12.4, for which the answer is very simple. Firstly, what specific services are covered? Restaurant, you understand. Catering, you understand, right? Then you have personal grooming, as you can see here. So all types of salons are covered. Beauty salons, beauty parlors, all are covered. That is personal grooming. That is also beauty treatment. Then you have the fitness, that you have all these gymming things, and you have the health services, which is hospitals, but for the time being they are exempt, but still we need to know the place of supply. So I hope firstly what services are covered. So the services are restaurant, catering, personal grooming, fitness, etc., etc. Now I'll give you an example first to understand this. Again, students, the answer what is place of supply is very simple. You need to first understand what will be covered in that. Answers are very simple. Place of supply is not difficult to understand. The section says a very simple and straightforward answer. You need to understand what will be covered. So I'll give you an example of one of my favorites, that is Allu Arjun. He is one of my, in fact, the very first South Indian movie which I watched and which I liked some maybe 10 years back. Obviously, besides the Thalaiva, that is Rajnikant, because that I've been watching since childhood. But the other South Indian actor whom I watched and from where my taste changed, and I've been watching exclusively now majorly South Indian movies only. And if it is coming to watching cinema, and if it is coming to watching OTT, then there are so many web series and this platforms. But point is what? So Allu Arjun is one of my, I'm diehard fan of him in the South Indian film industry. So he is a actor, let us say, registered in Andhra Pradesh. Now, I am making a film whereby I have signed him in the lead role. In this movie, like if you have seen Pushpa 2, he had taken get up of that Devi Ma in one of the songs and even towards the end of the movie. So in this movie, I am asking him to take 10 different get-ups. So he agrees for that. But the shoot location, I am from Delhi. So let us understand, I am the producer company. I am Delhi. Allu Arjun, who is one of my lead actors, is Andhra Pradesh. And the shoot location is Goa. Now pay attention. Now, since Allu Arjun needs to take 10 different get-ups for different shoot scenes, he specifically approaches Anubhav. Anubhav, let us say he is from Pune. He is a very famous hairstylist. Now, Allu Arjun approaches Anubhav. He tells Anubhav ki boss, I have this type of shoot and I want you to do my hairstyling for all these different get-ups. Since you are one of my regular hairstylist, I want you to come to Goa. So Anubhav agrees. He says that okay, since I'll be there for a week, so I am charging you rupees 10 lakhs. Allu Arjun says fine. Now here in this example, understand who is supplier, who is recipient. I am out of the picture. I am not in this particular service. The transaction is between Anubhav and Allu Arjun, where Anubhav is supplier, Allu Arjun is recipient. And what is the service? The personal grooming is the service, correct? Now here, even though supplier Anubhav is registered in Pune, Maharashtra, and Allu Arjun, who is the recipient, he is also registered. He is registered in Andhra. But as per 12.4, which is the section applicable over here, the place of supply will be Goa. That is the place where the services are actually performed. So the answer is very simple. For all these services, the names which you can see, the place of supply is place where the services are performed. I hope this is clear. Anybody, any questions? Can we proceed then? No questions, no? Thank you, Kabirjit. Okay. Now we come to the next service, which is again a very simple and straightforward service. Training and performance appraisal service. Again, let us take an example. So let us say Miss Soni Srivastav is a entrepreneur who has recently launched a startup. Her startup is in Delhi NCR region, where she is going to make a special type of glasses, where if anybody puts on the glass and he gives the command, whoever is speaking with that person, the person whoever is speaking in front may be speaking in English, maybe speaking in French or Italian, Spanish, Chinese, Swedish, any language. This person who is wearing on these glasses will be able to see in front of his eyes the translation of whatever the opposite person is speaking in his or her mother tongue. So this is the startup idea with which Soni Srivastav has launched her startup. Her place is Delhi NCR. Now, since she knows this particular business idea will be a wildfire idea, there would be huge orders. Hence, she has a team of 25 people who would be, some would be in the accounts team, some would be in the logistic team, some would be in the marketing team. And all these people would be running the different sections of the company. In this particular case, she hires me as the GST trainer. She wants me to do the GST briefing to all her employees so that whenever they are on field handling any of their domain of work, whatever issue they have with GST, income tax, accounting, that she wants me to cover up in this training. Now, again, I'm from Mumbai, Maharashtra. She is from Delhi, and she decides to keep this training in a resort in, let us say, Uttarakhand, in the hilly place, so that for her staff it would be like an outing also. So they would be keen on coming to that place, and it would also be a training. Now, in this particular case, the services which I am providing is training and performance appraisal. What is the place of supply? The answer is given by 12.5. The answer is simple and straightforward. It depends upon whether Sony's startup company is registered under GST or unregistered. Now, there are both possibilities. First, she has already taken registration, irrespective of whether her turnover has crossed the registration limit or not. So she is a registered person. Now, where she means the recipient, is a registered person, the place of supply shall be Delhi, that is location of Soni Srivastav or location of the recipient, if she is registered. However, where she is unregistered, the place of supply would be Uttarakhand, that is the place where this training services are being performed. So, in case of training and appraisal services, the answer depends upon whether the recipient is registered or unregistered. If registered, place of supply is recipient's place and not where the training is happening. So in my example, recipient is from Delhi. Supplier's place anyways is out of question here. So Mumbai, Maharashtra is never going to be place of supply. It would be either Delhi, that is recipient's place if the recipient is registered under GST. If not, it would be the place where this training is happening, which in my example is Uttarakhand. I hope this is clear to all. Kuldeep, I'll come to your question, but you have a very good question. In fact, you can convert your question into this service also. That will also be applicable. Okay. 1 second, there is one more. Good. Now, Kuldeep has a very good question. His question is in relation to the previous example or previous service. I will take up for this example also. Now, let us say right now, I'm taking this training on online platform. So how will the place of supply be decided? Let us say you all are unregistered, and actually you all are. So how will the place of supply be decided? Similarly, Kuldeep's question on similar lines was relating to the previous service, healthcare. Nowadays, since COVID, we have doctors who are providing these services through WhatsApps or through video calls. And that is a very good facility. And we also have now various apps and portals where you can get this online services. Now, in such cases where the place of supply was supposed to be the location, like in the previous service, the location where that personal grooming or healthcare is done. Or here, if the recipient is unregistered, again the location where this training is actually performed. Now the question is, how will you determine the place of supply in both these cases if this healthcare service of the previous example or of this example, the training is happening online? Because nowadays many companies are preferring online. It is easy for everyone. Now in such cases, students, the answer is both of these sections. Somebody has put something in chat. Both of these sections will not apply. And you will go to the general rule under 12.2. Why? Reason is, see, when you look at these sections, you'll find that both the previous section and this section, second part, where the recipient is unregistered, has been designed, has been crafted, has been drafted with a presumption that the services would be performed physically at a location. Now, where because of advent of technology and which has been further pushed by COVID, where people earlier who were not comfortable, including person like me, not very much comfortable on video calls or online, has now got this comfort because we were forced to do that for 2 years and now we got accustomed to it. This is now the new normal, where even we are having our client meetings, which earlier nobody could imagine that you could meet MD of a person, MD of a very big company, and or multiple people from different locations could meet sitting in their house. Now this has become the new normal. Now, this was not envisaged when these sections were drafted, and they have not brought any amendment even post-COVID in that, because where the services are not of the nature for which these sections are made, like these services should be of physical nature, where the services are not of physical nature, students, then by default you go to the general rule, because the general rule is made under 12.2 for those cases for which this specific rules are not applicable. That is why answer to Kuldeep your question, and even for this current services, you will have to go to 12.2, that is the general rule. Fine, students? Is this clear to everyone? Mujahid is asking, sir, simply person kahan kab ho jahan supply hua. Bapre. Mujahid, beta, you have used Hindi and you have typed in English, so it is becoming a bit tricky for me to understand. Person kha ka, bapre. B हो जहाँ supply हुए, place of supply, and person जो location का भी हो जहाँ service लिए और दिए, वो location का service location कहाँ जाता है sir? Sorry, but you'll have to give me a proper question, or I can unmute you. You raise your hand and you ask me, because I'm unable to understand your query but in this format. Okay. Next service, which is simple, straightforward. Firstly, let me give you an example. You all have seen Kapil Sharma. You all have seen KBC. You all watch many types of these beauty contest, singing contest, and also you have these film fair and all these award ceremonies. First example. Second, we have these IPL matches. Now we'll be having the Pro Kabaddi League matches. We'll be having the Pro Hockey League matches. Third, you have different types of amusement parks. Like you have in Mumbai, around Mumbai, the amusement park where you have multiple rides. Similarly, in Hyderabad, you have that Ice World. All these are amusement parks. Now, whenever you visit any of these, all these examples which I have given, many times there is an entry fee taken, and only basis this entry fee, registration fee, admission fee, whatever you may call, you are allowed to go in and enjoy. So this service 12.6 is exclusively for service by way of admission to any event, amusement park, or other such places. So this is the list which is given. What is the place of supply? The answer is simple. It is the physical location of the park or the event. So where the event is held. So when you are going to this Kapil Sharma show or you are going to KBC, all these are in one of the film city sets, which is located in Mumbai majorly. Or whenever you are going to watch IPL matches, they are in the respective states wherever the matches are being held, the respective stadiums, or wherever you are going to any of these, as I gave you example, amusement parks. So wherever these parks are located, that is what is the place of supply. Now here, again, I'll take another example because that example I'll continue in the next section also. So for this same, though the answer is very simple, but I'm taking one more example. So again, one of my favorites, die-hard fan, A.R. Rahman ji. So we all know he's a renowned musician and equally super talented singer. Now, I want to organize a live concert of A.R. Rahman ji. Now, let us say he is from Kerala, he is registered in Kerala. I am from Madhya Pradesh, I am the organizer. And this live concert, this event, I want to organize in Delhi. Yes, Ashlesha, do you have any query? Okay. So, A.R. Rahman ji is in Kerala. I am in Madhya Pradesh, let us say Bhopal. I am the organizer of this event. But now the services are not the services of A.R. Rahman ji. That is whatever remuneration I'm going to pay because I'll be hiring him for this live concert. Let us say he charges 2 CR. So this will be covered in 12.2, which is the general rule, but we are not talking about this service. Now, I hire Delhi's Tal Katora, what it is called, Tal Katora Stadium, where I'll be organizing and hosting this event. Now, obviously, I would be allowing people to come and attend this by paying an admission fee, entry fee. Now, this entry fee, which I am collecting you all from across India, would be coming for this event, for this concert. And I have charged fee ranging from rupees 2,000 to rupees 2 lakhs, depending upon what is the seating that you are selecting. Now, in this case, the fees which I am charging to you all is what is covered in 12.6. It is the fees for service by way of admission to this entertainment event. Now, even though I am from Madhya Pradesh, even though you all are from different parts of India, but the place of supply will simply be Delhi. That is the place where this event is being actually held. So irrespective of from where the supplier is, from where the recipient are, the place of supply is the place of the event. Now, continuing this example to 12.7 to understand what is 12.7. 12.7 heading is organization of event. Now, I am from Madhya Pradesh. I am the businessman who organizes such events, and I earn from these events by way of your admission fees, tickets, plus the different advertisements I will be getting for this. People would be putting their hoardings, displays. So I'll earn a lot from this. Now, this is what is my business. But I'm not able to manage all the logistics. I'm not able to do all the groundwork for actually conducting this event. For this, I hire an event management firm. So let us say This event management firm is being run by RIA. RIA is from, let us say, Kolhapur, and RIA is running this particular event management company. So I get her details from the net and I contact her and I give her this contract. What is my contract? To RIA that her role is to handle this entire event. So I am the event organizer. She is the person who is responsible for everything, right from booking the venue, printing the tickets, marketing the entire event, organizing people who would be there as bouncers, as the persons who would be managing the crowd, everything. So she is the event management company, event management firm. Now, in this case, see, in the previous 12.6, I was the supplier. The organizer of the event was the supplier, and you all who are attending the events were the recipient, and the service was admission to event. Now, in the same event, the service is where RIA is the supplier and the event organizer is the recipient, and the service is event organization service. Now, in this case, the answer of place of supply depends upon whether the recipient is registered or unregistered. If I am registered, that is the recipient, I am registered in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, then Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh is the place of supply for event organizing service. But if I am unregistered, then the place where this event is held, which in my example is Delhi, is the place of supply. So place of supply will depend upon whether the recipient of this service, and who is the recipient, the organizer of the event, whether the recipient is a registered person or an unregistered person. If I am registered, place of supply will be my location. If I am unregistered, place of supply is the location where the event is held. Is this clear to all students? Simple, eh? Anybody? Any doubts in 12.6, 12.7? Perfect. So you all have understood what is this service. Now, in this, there are certain pointers. What if the events are to be held in more than one place? Again, the place of supply, where the place of supply is place of the event, but the event is to be held in more than one states. Then the same answer what we had for immobile property. What? First, see whether your contract has provided for the manner of bifurcation. If the contract has provided the manner of bifurcation, the proportion of the value of service will be done as per the contract. However, where the contract is silent and the contract is not providing for bifurcation, then the bifurcation will be done as provided in the rules. Now, what is the rule saying? In the absence of contract between supplier and recipient, the proportion value of service made in different states, unions, and territories where the event is held is computed in accordance with Rule 5 of the IGST rules. And what does Rule 5 says? By application of generally accepted accounting principles. So in short, how will the place of supply be determined? The place of supply will be determined by going through accounting principles. And how accounting will go? The accounting will see how much time and effort is involved in this in every state, and that will be taken as the proportion. In short, how we are going to account for this service in different states, that will be the basis of bifurcating the value to determine the place of supply. Correct? Then comes another service, that is 12.8. Now, what is 12.8? It is the goods transport service. It is the GTA service. I'm sure you all would have studied exemption. If you all have studied exemption, then in exemption, you all would have studied this particular point relating to GTA. So in some cases, the services provided by GTA is exempt. Now, in this particular case, where the services provided by GTA is exempt, there is no question of taxability. But where the services are not exempt, in such cases, how the place of supply will be determined? That is given in 12.8. Now for this, again, first let us take a simple example to determine what is the place of supply for GTA service. What is GTA? Simple word example, simple words make goods transport service. As you can see, the goods transport may be by truck, it may be by rail, or it may be by any those specialized delivery partners where you have this door-to-door service, D2H service, D2D service, DTDC service. So there are multiple names which are given for this. So all this is covered here. Now, what is the place of supply? Let me first take an example. I am the GTA, that is a transporter. Let us say I am running this trucks and my transport service runs across India. Now, Nandini, who is from Kolkata, she wants her goods which are landing at Bombay port. So she has imported some goods which are landing at Bombay port. She wants these goods to be transported from Bombay to her client's place, which is in Karnataka. So please be clear. Nandini is from Kolkata. She is a businessman. She had ordered for some goods. The goods are being imported from UAE. They are landing at the Mumbai port. Now she hires me. She wants me to pick up this particular consignment landing at Bombay port and take it from Bombay port and deliver it to her customer's location, which is in Karnataka. Correct. Now I have not yet mentioned where I am from. I am the transporter because it is irrelevant, but still to add spice to this, let us say the transporter is from Goa. So I am adding one more state. But let me tell you, it will be not relevant here. What is the location of transporter? Location of transporter has no relevance here, but just to give make a complete example. So the transporter is from Goa. Goods are to be taken from Bombay to Karnataka. So from Maharashtra to Karnataka. And the customer, and who is customer in this case? The customer is nothing but the businessman. That is Nandini. She is from Kolkata. Now in this example, what will be the place of supply of this transport service which I, that is the GTA, that is a transporter, is giving to the businessman, that is Nandini? The answer is we have to see whether Nandini, that is the businessman, is a registered person. If Nandini is a registered person, registered under GST, the place of supply will be Kolkata, that is her location. So the place of supply will be Kolkata if Nandini is a registered person. However, if Nandini is an unregistered person, the place of supply will be where transportation starts. Now here some phrase is used. Location at which such goods are handed over for transportation. You can simplify it and write location where transportation starts. That will be the place of supply. Now, first case, first, is Nandini registered? First possibility, yes. If Nandini is registered, now from where to where transportation is happening? Transportation is happening from Mumbai to Karnataka, but the place of supply will be Kolkata. That is the location of Nandini because she is registered. Now, if Nandini is not registered, let us say her business is small, she has not yet taken a registration. In such cases, the place of supply would be Bombay, that is Maharashtra. That is a location from where the transportation will start. Students, I hope you understand this. So I've taken so many examples, so many case scenarios, but this is what is the answer. Clear? Everybody understood everything? Anybody has any doubts, questions relating to any of this point? No? Perfect. Good. The students have understood everything. So you have no doubts, correct? Chalo. Now, somebody had asked me this at the start. Sir, what would be the place of supply for the service where some person is taking plane, that is for transportation, the person is using air? What will be the place of supply? You will get the answer here. Nandini beta, Karnataka will never be place of supply in the previous case. It is the place from where the transportation starts. Firstly, if you are registered, it will be your location. So it is Kolkata. If you are unregistered, it will be the location from where the transportation starts. And in my example, the transportation is starting from Mumbai. So the place of supply would always be Mumbai and not Karnataka. That is the place where the transportation ends. That will not be the place of supply. Correct? Understood, beta? Perfect. Now, somebody asked me at the start, sir, what would be the place of supply for airline services? The answer is 12.9. Now, 12.9 covers passenger transportation service. And let me tell you, the answer is same like the GTA service answer. The difference is this is passenger transport, GTA is for goods transport. So again, let us take a simple example. So let us say I'm Air India, which is Air Airlines. You are traveling from Mumbai to Delhi. Now, who are you? Let us say you are Shamli. So Shamli is traveling from Mumbai to Delhi. Now she has booked a ticket. Now, interesting, the possibility is that she is traveling from Mumbai to Delhi and again she'll be coming back to Mumbai because she has also booked return tickets. And let us say, for example, Shamli is from Noida, that is UP, and she is taking flight from Mumbai to Delhi and maybe back to Mumbai. Now, in this particular case, what will be the place of supply? Again, 12.9 says, same like GTA. You have to first check whether Shamli, that is a recipient of the service, is registered. If Shamli, who is a recipient of the service, is registered, the place of supply is her location, which in my example is UP. Again, from where to where she is traveling is of no relevance if she is a registered person. Again, I have not mentioned my address at all. Anyways, airlines has office everywhere in India. So I have office everywhere. But again, supplier's location is irrelevant. So I'm not getting into that. But if the recipient is registered, the place of supply is the recipient's location. So the first answer is it is Noida. Second, what if she is unregistered? Then the answer is the place from where her transportation starts. Same like GTA. So here, what does the language says? The location from where the passenger embarks on the conveyance. So in short, the place from where your transportation will start. Now, interestingly, in my example, I purposefully took the example of two locations. She is going from Mumbai to Delhi and then she is coming back. Now, it may happen that she may have booked a single ticket for both sides. But you will see here it is given in the explanation below that return journey will always be treated as a separate journey, even though the tickets for both are booked at the same time. So many times you book same in the same go, you book both the tickets and you get a single invoice. Still, the return journey will be considered as separate journey. So now there are two journeys. Now, first, if Shamli is registered, that is, the recipient is registered, for both journeys, the place of supply is UP. But if she is unregistered, then the place of supply will be two places. First, when she is going from Bombay to Delhi, the place of supply is the starting point of journey, that is Bombay. Where she is returning from Delhi to Bombay, the place of supply is Delhi, that is again the starting point of her journey. Is this clear? A very special case scenario that is covered in this is issue of right to passage for future use and the point of boarding not known at the time of issue of right to passage. Now again, what is this? This is again a practical scenario where you are again connecting to a travel person where, like if you remember, I had given you the similar example in case of hotel service where I am your travel partner and you have booked 10 nights in 10 different places, right? Now, similarly, many times people in this travel packages, they book beforehand. What they book? They book tickets, but right now the place from where to where they will go is not mentioned. Hence, you do not call it as ticket, you simply call it as right to passage for future use. So many times nowadays there are different business models. So many times these transport partners, travel partners, what they do to get a confirmed client, they sell you right to passage where you'll be traveling in future and nobody knows from where to where you'll go. Today the location is not decided, but they will say, okay, I'm giving you 10 travel points in advance, and let us say for those 10 travel points I'm charging a lump sum of 50,000. So for you also, you feel that, wow, for my one side travel it is 5,000 on an average, so you also pay that 50,000 upfront and it will cover 10 travels. Now here the location is not covered, that is from where to where you are going is not covered. In such cases, what will be the place of supply? If the address of the unregistered person is available on record of the supplier, the location of some unregistered person, in other cases, the location of the supplier. So here they have given a very different answer than whatever we have studied till now. If the address of unregistered person is available on the record, and generally, let me tell you, whenever you are providing someone a travel service, you will generally be having the address because anyways, this service will be provided in future. But when any such service is booked in advance, you generally have the address. So generally, a point will be applicable where the address is available on the records of the supplier. The place of supply will be the address. However, where the address is not available, the place of supply will be the supplier's location. So this is something different. For the first time, you will see supplier's location becoming place of supply. Till now, this had never happened earlier. Yes, Anil. Anil has given a very good example of bus pass. So in case of bus pass, similarly, you may have railway pass, but exactly from where to where you are traveling is not finalized at the start. So such services, which is right to passage. So you are correct, Anil. It may be bus pass, railway pass. Similarly, you may have flight passes. So there are different types of such advance bookings where the destination where to where you're traveling is not confirmed, but there is a lump sum price charged. Now coming to 1210. What does 1210 covers? 1210 will cover the service where, pay attention, 1210 will cover the service where you are served on board a flight something. So as we discussed earlier, when we were discussing this in goods also, while you are traveling, you book something on board the flight. First, you have to check whether it is supply of goods or whether it is supply of service. Supply of goods would be if you are buying something which is pre-packed and which can be consumed later on. So that is what is supply of goods. What is supply of service? Where something is served, like some hot drink is served, something cold is served, or something which is made hot is given to you, that is what is supply of service. In such cases, where it is a supply of service, then in that particular case, what will be the place of supply? The place of supply would be 1210. So first understand whether it is place of whether it is supply of goods or whether it is supply of service. We had discussed this in detail last time. Supply of goods would be when it is pre-packed, when it is to be given to you and you may consume it anytime in future. That is, there is no need of serving you hot or cold. You can consume it anytime and it is packaged. That is where it is supply of goods. You will refer section 10(1)(e). But where it has to be given to you, served to you, maybe heated like some hot drinks like tea, coffee, or it has to be served to you chilled cold, then it is supply of service. You will come to 1210. Now, before I tell you what is in 1210, you have to recall what was there in 10(1)(e). That is where supply of goods was given on board a conveyance. So while you were traveling, some package item was given, which is supply of goods on board while you were in journey. If you remember, the place of supply as per 10(1)(e) was the place where the goods were onboarded the flight. Correct? Now we are talking about services which are to be given to you while you are traveling, while you are in journey. So here we are talking about services to be given on board a conveyance. So let us say again you are in flight and now you have ordered tea or coffee, which is a hot beverage which has to be served to you. In such cases, what will be the place of supply? The answer is the place of supply will be the first scheduled point of departure of that conveyance. So here it is not where the goods are onboarded, because it is now we are talking about service. So here they have slightly changed their answer and now they are saying the place of supply would be the starting point of this flight. So the location from where this particular flight is starting, that will be the place of supply for services provided on board. So students, firstly, I hope you understand and you remember the difference between supply of goods on board and supply of service on board. Correct? Because that is the key difference between both these sections, 10(1)(e) and 12(10). Is this clear? Anybody? Any doubts? Any questions further? Perfect. Perfect. Correct, Anil. Okay. Now this is simple. Now this is telecom services. Now what are telecom services? Now there are different types of telecom services, not one. So first are telecom services with some fixed equipment. So you may have a fixed telecom line like this old phone. Nowadays you don't find this except in case of hotels, hotel rooms. Then you may have for your dish TV, you have the dish antenna installed. So wherever there is some fixed equipment, all this comes in telecom. So the telephone, the dish TV, or in case of internet services, the internet modem which is installed. All these are the first category of services. The place of supply is the place where these gadgets are installed. So where any of the telecom services are provided to you by way of these fixed telecom equipments, then the place of supply will be the place where these are installed. Yes, Anil. So it will be the place where the fax machine is. You're right. Now, second comes mobile. Now, within mobile, there are two possibilities, postpaid and prepaid. Now, for prepaid, the answer is, now I don't know whether you all have seen this. When this mobile started and the prepaid services started, we had a particular shop where you were supposed to go, you were supposed to pay, let us say 100 rupees, and that shopkeeper would recharge your number with 100 rupees talk time. So you had to physically go to a place where you were getting the recharge done to your prepaid mobile phone connections. In such cases, the shop from where the recharge is done is the place of supply, that is for prepaid. So here there are answers where it is a installed type of equipment like fixed telecom, lease circuits, etc. The location where these equipments are installed. When it is for prepaid, we were discussing about this. It is the address of the selling agent, that is the shop from where you get the recharge done. Where it is postpaid, the answer is simple, the location of the billing address. And if this location of billing address is not available, then the location of supplier. But practically, you all will agree to this that for postpaid mobile phones, generally the location of billing address is available. In that case, the place of supply is the recipient's location, that is the billing address. So it is simple. This will happen very rarely that it is a postpaid connection and the address of recipient is not available. Then services provided by any person to the final subscriber, location where such prepayment is received. Now this was again applicable to prepaid mobile phones. Now this is not practically available. We are making prepaid payments online. So where prepaid services, the payment for which is made through internet banking or electronic mode, that is online, the location of recipient of service in the records of the supplier. So let me tell you one thing, for all mobile services now, by default, the recipient, that is all of us who are availing this mobile services, our addresses are always on record, be it a prepaid or postpaid. Now, as per government regulations, without your Aadhaar card, you won't be given any mobile connection, prepaid or postpaid. So by default now, the place of supply is always your location, except where we are talking about the fixed lines, where the place of supply is placed where the installments are installed. The instruments are installed. In all other cases, the place of supply practically is location of recipient because the address of recipient is always available. But hypothetically, if the recipient's address is not available, then it will be the location of supply. So this is the simple answer. Now, another case scenario where these installed equipments are installed in more than one states at the same time, then what will be the place of the supply? The place of supply will be deemed to be each of the respective states in proportion of the value of service as per the terms of contract. Again, where the terms of the contract are silent, then you have a specific rule which will tell you how to bifurcate the value. How to bifurcate? The number of points in a circuit is determined in the following manner. In case of circuit between 2 points or places, the starting point or place of circuit and the end point of circuit will invariably constitute 2 points. So what is this? So let us say you are having a fixed line and this fixed line is between 2 points and these 2 points are in 2 states. Now what it is, I'll give you example. So you have a dedicated line for your calling, or you have put up a broadband dedicated for your company, and your one company's location is in Noida, that is in UP. Another company's location is in Delhi, and there is a dedicated leased circuit or leased line which is set up exclusively for your company's communication. Then one point is in Noida, another point is in Delhi. So there are 2 points. The value will be apportioned in the ratio of 1:1, that is between the 2 points, where any intermediate point or place in the circuit will also constitute a point provided that the benefit of the leased circuit is also available at that intermediate point. Now, what is this? So in the same example, your company has 3 locations, one at Noida, which is UP, another Delhi, and the third is in Haryana's, which is the bordering state of Delhi. So now you have 3 locations and all the 3 locations are connected through a line. a dedicated line given to your company, and all the three locations are using or taking the benefit of the internet services of the telecom services. In such cases, all the 3 points will be considered as 3 points, and then the value will be apportioned in proportion, that is equal. So the answer given in rule 6 is where you have leased lines and they are spread in more than one state, it is in proportion of the number of points which are there in each state, right? Now, if let us say if in one state you have 2-3 locations, then that state will have 2-3 points. So that will be the ratio. So simply how many locations you have in each state for that dedicated line, that will be the ratio used for apportioning the value between different states. Correct? Nandini is asking, sir, what is the place of supply of prepaid mobile service? But answer is, earlier it was the location of the shopkeeper from where you are getting the prepaid mobile recharge. Today, nobody goes to any shop. We do it online. Since we do it online, then the place of supply for prepaid mobile service is one. If your address, that is the address of the recipient, is available on record of the service provider, it is your address, that is the recipient's location is place of supply. In case your address is not available, then it is the location of the supplier, that is the telecom company itself. Now, as I said, my concluding point was this practically is not applicable today. Why? Because practically today, as per government norms, whether it is prepaid or postpaid, no connections are given without your Aadhaar card. So now by default, your address will always be on record. Next, financial and stockbroking services, which includes banking services. The place of supply is location of recipient if it is on the record of the supplier, and where the location of recipient is not on the record of the supplier, it is the location of the supplier. Now you will find now this is commonly repeating. Why this is commonly repeating? When we'll study 12.2, you'll find that 12.2's answer is also same. So where recipient's address is available on record of the supplier, it is the recipient's address. If it is not available on the record of the supplier, now see where you don't have recipient's address, then you have no choice, then it will be the supplier's address. In case of insurance service, whether the recipient is registered or unregistered, it is always the location of recipient. So you will see even for registered recipient, it is location of recipient, and even for unregistered recipient also, it is the location of recipient, because in case of insurance, by default, address of recipient is always there because you fill in the insurance form, all the formalities are done, all your addresses, proof, your identity proof, everything is taken, only then a policy is given. So whether you are registered or unregistered, in both cases, your address is always available on record, and that is what is the place of supply. And then coming to the last category of service in 12, that is advertisement services given to government. Now, what is this advertisement service given to government? Firstly, let us understand. So there are different ways by which advertisement services can be given to government, right? Now, first is even government will hire hoardings first. Second, government will ask you to paint on walls, like you find in many smaller cities or town places that we have many things painted on the wall. Many times government scheme, government promotional, this is painted on the walls. Third, nowadays government is using radio, government is using television, where you will find many of the government schemes ads are run. So let us say for pollution control, certain ads are run. For making awareness about cleanliness, for making awareness about restricting the population of the country, for making awareness about during COVID, government had run many programs and all this for maintaining social distancing, using masks. So all these are examples of where government is running some type of campaign. Now for this, the government hires different agencies who provides the advertisement services to the government. Now, how these advertisement services can be given? One, the government is hiring my hoardings, and the hoardings are in multiple cities or states. The place of supply is each of the location of the hoard. If the government is getting walls painted, then every city where the walls are or where that location is, where that particular slogan or some campaign driven ad is painted, that is the place of supply. Where I am doing it on radio. Now this is interesting. Radio. How do you determine the place of supply? Even for television, how do you determine the place of supply? First, they say for such cases, you have to see the contract. And where the contract is silent, you will apply what is given in the rules. The rules simply say that in case of radio and television, you will go by the viewership. So, which city or which state's viewership, how many people are there? So, depending upon that advertisement is played in how many cities or states, then what is the viewership? On that basis, you will determine the place of supply. However, these things are not given in much details in our syllabus. So, this is about advertisement services given to government. Now, let me take you to 12.2, which is the generic rule where any of these special cases are not applicable. Then 12.2 is the general rule which is applicable, and 12.2 says simply in 12.2 you have to see whether your recipient is registered. If your recipient is registered, the place of supply is the location of the recipient. So answer of 12.2 is first, if recipient is registered, the place of supply is the location of recipient. However, if the recipient is unregistered, then there are two possibilities. One, if the address of the unregistered person is available on record, then it is again the recipient's address if it is available on record of the supplier. If recipient's address is not available, then there is no choice but the supplier's address. So the answer or the example of this is our chartered accountancy services fall in 12.2 because you did not find any subsection which covers chartered accountancy services. Now, I am chartered accountant. You all are my clients. Now, first possibility, whoever of you are registered, the place of supply will be your address. So you all are spread across India. You all are coming to me right now. Let us say it is the income tax return filing season. So you all are coming to me asking me to file the returns, income tax returns, wherever applicable, doing your income tax audit. Now, in all these cases, the place of supply will be as per 12.2, where you are registered. So if you are registered in your respective areas, place of supply is your address. Second possibility, some of you are unregistered. Then we have to see whether I have your addresses available in my records. So if I'm maintaining a file of yours and I've taken your Aadhaar card or your PAN card, so I have your address available in my records, that is in my file. Then again, the place of supply is your location, your address. But in case somebody has just approached me, sir, I need your consultancy for one of the capital gain issues, and I simply give consultancy, and for this I do not require your PAN card, Aadhaar card. You pay me online. That's it. I do not have your address on record because you had come to me for simple discussion, simple consultancy, for which I charge you upfront fees. In such cases, the place of supply shall be my address, that is the chartered accountant's office, because I do not have your address on record. Correct? So student, these are the various place of supply provisions. Then we go to some small parts. Small sections are there besides this. Let me just cover them. Yes. Section 7, 8, and 9 of the IGST Act. We just need to know what these sections are. So basically, these sections help you determine what will be interstate supply, what will be intrastate supply. Now, what is interstate supply? Section 7 of the IGST Act defines interstate supply. Firstly, for supply of goods, what it says, what will be interstate supply, or when a supply will be called as interstate supply. I hope you all know this already, where the location of the supplier and the place of supply, which we just determined, if they are in two different states, or two different union territories, or one state and one union territory. That is what is interstate supply. So this is very basic what we are discussing now. So interstate supply depends upon or is decided on what basis, where these are falling in different states. What these? Location of supplier and place of supply. So to determine whether it is an interstate supply, you have to check two things: location of supplier, place of supply. So in case of supply of goods, where location of supplier, place of supply are falling in different states, it is interstate supply. Similarly, same rule applies for supply of service. When it will be called as interstate supply, when the location of supplier and place of supply are falling in different states, different union territories, or in one state and one union territory, again it is interstate supply. Then there is a generic point: supply of goods or service or both, which is happening in the taxable territory. Taxable territory means India, and which is not covered in the intrastate supply section, which is given below. That is also interstate. So in short, this is the generic rule where any transaction is such that it is not falling in intrastate, it will by default be interstate. So interstate has three answers. One, for supply of goods, for supply of service. For both, answer is same. Location of supply is in one state, place of supply is in another state. It is interstate. And the third rule is the generic rule, where your transaction is not falling in intrastate, by default it will be interstate. Now, what is the definition of intrastate? It is again simple. Again, for supply of goods, where the location of supplier and place of supply are falling in the same state or in the same union territory, it is intrastate supply. Similarly, for supply of service, where both location of supplier and place of supply both are falling in the same state, same union territory, again it will be an intrastate supply. Now, what is important is this explanation, what it says. Now, here they have used the word establishment. What is establishment? Your office, your godown, your place of business is an establishment. So what they are trying to clarify, when you are having any of your office, whether registered or unregistered, in a state, that office will be treated as one of your establishments. So where they are in the same state, they are considered as establishment of that state. If your offices, your branches are in different states, they are considered as establishment in different states. Similarly, where a person is carrying on business through any branch or agency, then such branch or such agency are called as their establishment. So in short, in crisp, the meaning of both these explanations is where you are doing business from a place, which may be a branch, which may be an agent's place, or which may be any of your offices, that is called as your establishment. And then coming to a very interesting and the last section from this chapter, that is section 9 of the IGST Act. What it deals with: what if the transaction is in territorial waters? Now, what are territorial waters? See, our boundaries are not limited to land. As per international provisions, every country's boundaries extend even into waters. Now, many of our states have water as on the border. So Maharashtra has water on the border, Kerala has, Tamil Nadu has, many states are surrounded by waters. Now, in such case, where your location of supplier or of recipient or the place of supply, any of these three locations is falling in the territorial waters. Now, the question is, it will fall in which state? Because we have to determine the state for everything. Now, the answer is given by section 9. What it says, where the location of supplier is falling in the territorial waters or the place of supply is falling in territorial waters. The question is, which state it is? The answer is, it shall be deemed to be in that coastal state which is the nearest point from the basin. So you are in the waters. That place where you are in the waters, it is nearest geographically to which coastal state, that state will be treated as your state. So for determining location of supplier, where the supplier is in waters or where the place of supply is in waters, it is in which state? The answer is, it is in that state which is nearest to you geographically. So section 9 basically helps you determine which state should be considered as your state when the transaction is happening is water? So the answer is the nearest coastal states. Fine. So students, that is the end of this chapter from my side. Yes, correct, Anil. So I hope you all understood. And I tried to make the session simple by giving you simple examples, straightforward, real life examples, so that even it is catchy, it will be helpful to you in learning and remembering. So with this, I stop over here. We have concluded this chapter. Now you have 10 minutes break. In this time, you will register on the given login so that you all are ready for the quiz. Correct? So 10 minutes break. In this, the link will be shared where you will be registering, where you will be logging in for attending the quiz. Yes, Shefali ma'am is there. So good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
So with your permission, ma'am, I would like to take leave. So thank you all students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good day.
Good day. So very good evening to all the students also. And I'm sharing my screen because I just want to share the QR code also, which, and please let me know if this is visible. That will help you in joining the quiz. So those of you who are there in the YouTube, they can also join the quiz. Okay, Pooja is asking for the WhatsApp link. Pooja will be sharing the WhatsApp link. Okay, now it's visible. Thanks, Anubhav. Good evening, Deepika. So we'll be having 10 minutes break so that you all can, in the meantime, relax and you can join this quiz. I will not be switching off my video because this link will be visible only when my video is on. So you can join through this QR code also, and you can join through this if you log in at quizzes.com, and then this code is 047070. So those of us who are in YouTube, what they can do, they can join they can log in through another device. So please join through another device at quizzes.com, and there it will prompt you to give a code, quiz code, and that is 047070. So we'll see who will be our GST titan for the day. But before that, you all have to join at this particular link. Okay. Anubhav, today's topic is place of supply only. Whatever you have done till now, quiz will be a quick refresher or quick revision of that. Okay. Thank you, Medha. So all of you may join, and this is a break only. You all, if those of you who have joined, they can go for the break, you relax, and then you come back prepared for the quiz. Good evening, Geeta. Good evening, Shamli. Good evening, Mustafa. I will be starting the quiz at 8:05. So we still have 7 minutes. So those of you who want to relax, they can go and they can have a break. So 37 participants have joined. Good evening, Santosh. Quiz will start at 8:05. Good evening, Kabirjeet. I will also be rejoining at 8:05, but I'm keeping the screen as it is so that you all can join the quiz through this QR code also. Otherwise, you have this code with you 047070. So please join it at this particular link. You can scan the QR code and then also you can join. some of the students are not able to join the quiz. So they can, is the QR code visible to you all? Please let me know in the chat box whether this QR code is visible to you on the screen. Okay. So Navneet, what you have to do is you have to scan this QR code through another device. So you have another mobile phone, or yes, this has to be done through mobile phone only. Scan this QR code, and then it will take you straight away to that quiz link. There you have to just enter your name and try to give your complete name, so that when your name comes on the leaderboard, you get that sense of pride that yes, you have performed well. And then questions will also come on that device only. That will be there on my screen also, and they will be there. You have to scan through the QR code. You can scan through your camera, or QR code scanner is also there separately. I think you can scan through camera also. This QR code you can scan through camera. Otherwise, what you can do is, I'm once again sharing the link. You can go to that link. Is this link not giving is not taking you to the quiz portal? Is my voice not audible? Please let me know if my voice is not audible, because Anil is saying my voice is not audible. Please others also let me know. Anubhav, okay, it's audible. Maybe Anil, some problem is there at your end. Please check. Shamli is also saying it's audible. Geeta, okay, fine. Now I got that my voice is audible. So others who are not able to join it, then they should try to do it. Okay, I'm sending the link. I've sent you the link again, Navneet. Have you got this link? Navneet, I've sent you the link again. You click on this particular link, and I think, or otherwise you don't, I'm sending you one more link. That is very simple, and that you will be able to join. Okay, you have been able to join it. So just, in fact, it's now 8:07, and just one more minute, and then we'll start with the quiz, because we want our students to go through the questions and don't want to delay it further. Okay, you also join. Mustafa was saying something. Mustafa, I will just write it because I'm not prepared. It's okay, Mustafa. It doesn't matter whether you are prepared or not. You will definitely perform good. Don't worry. So others I would request, then when you will be giving the quiz, if you want to give your answer, I would request you to give the answers in the main chat box also. And please select message everyone, so that it's easy for me to see your answers. Otherwise, I have to click on your respective message and then see the answer. That makes it difficult. So it will be easy if you can post it in the main chat box with the option as message on everyone. Okay. So Navneet has joined on laptop. Good. I think how many, let me see how many of you have joined, so that we can, I think it's, my screen is still shared. I thought I had not done some move up in that. Main chat box means you have to select, when you are messaging, you have to select everyone, message everyone, and then you have to send the message. We need bot answer. You can give answer, Gulti, here also. Then it will be, I can also interact with you that how you are performing in the quiz. So I think 50 participants have already been there, and now we are starting with the quiz. So I hope we can start with the quiz now. Any more participants who are yet to join, please send me in the chat box that you are yet to join the quiz. Otherwise, I will start with the quiz now. There are 3 recipients. Okay, 3 recipients are being shown to you. So, no. Just a minute. Let me see. If, hello, Ashlesha. Let me check who all are there. So, Ashok, can students post messages which are visible to everyone? Message everyone कर सकते हैं students? कर सकते हैं ना? तो students आपको message everyone select करना है, and here we are not allowed to answer everyone. Ashlesha is saying here we have to answer everyone, not allowed. No, you can, Ashlesha, you can join the quiz. If you want to give answer here, you can give answer here also. Okay, it's not showing, then it's fine. Today you can message me. I will somehow manage. Don't worry. Whatever, first of all, try, but please be very attentive attempting the quiz there. And yes, some of the now I have started getting the responses and the message everyone also, but those who are not able to do, they can send the separate messages also. That is not an issue. So we are straight away starting with the quiz. Okay. So let's start with the GST Titan quiz for the day on place of supply chapter. So first question on your screen is, what are the parameters we need to consider for determining whether the given supplies are intrastate or interstate supplies? Location of supplier and place of supply, location of recipient and place of supply, location of supplier and location of recipient. You have still 30 seconds to answer this question, but be very attentive in answering this question. Very simple question based of place of supply provisions. Okay, good, it's working. Okay, Ashlesha, I have answered it in quiz. Here also, if anybody of you wants to answer, then you can answer it. See, you have to tell which. Okay, time is up. And I have got few answers now, but you have to see, actually, you have not read the question carefully. It was a very, very simple question. Let us once again go through the question. Parameters for determining whether the given supplies are intrastate or interstate supplies. So it takes us back to the definition of interstate or intrastate, which says where the location of supplier and place of supply is in same state. It is an intrastate supply. Where the location of supplier and place of supply are in two different states or union territories, then it is an interstate supply. So the definition itself provides us that in case we want to determine the inter and intrastate supplies, there are two parameters which we require, and those parameters are location of supplier and place of supply. In fact, 20 of you have answered it correctly, 15 have answered it wrongly. So that means you got confused with the determination of place of supply. आप में से बहुत सारे लोगों ने place of supply कैसे determine करते हैं, उसके लिए location of recipient और location of supplier की जरूरत पड़ती है. That is why this option 3 has been marked by so many students. But actually में question था कि आपको inter और intrastate supplies कैसे determine करनी है. उसके लिए definition से ही पता चलता है कि आपको location of supplier और place of supply determine करनी है. इसी वजह से place of supply की जरूरत पड़ती है, क्योंकि जब हमें interstate और intrastate निकालना है, for that purpose we should know what is the place of supply, because there are two parameters which are required, two factors which we need. One is location of supplier and second is place of supply. तो place of supply की जरूरत ही इसलिए पड़ती है सबसे पहले हमें ये जानने के लिए what is my nature of supply. Okay, so I hope this becomes clear to you all now. Any doubt in this particular question, because many of you have not answered it correctly, but I can understand that this was because you did not read the question carefully, or you were under this impression that you have to tell the parameters for determining the place of supply. But I was asking the parameters for determining inter and intrastate supply. So Kabirjit, is it fine now? Have you got this point? And same Anil, I think this point now must be clear to you all. Let us see the leaderboard quickly and then we'll move to the next question. Okay. So let us see the leaderboard. Okay. So on the leaderboard, on the top, we have Jaya Manocha, Anubhav, Vedant, Kairvi, Nirhin, Lingaraju, Riya, Rohan, Ashlesha, and Kuldeep. So all those who are on the top, congratulations. Now we are moving to the next question. Mr. Popat of Gujarat purchased goods from Tirath Ram and Company in Punjab. As per contract, Mr. Popat is required to take delivery of the goods from the factory of Tirath Ram and Company located in Punjab and get the same transported to Gujarat on his own. Place of supply is Gujarat or Punjab. Read the question carefully. Every question will have some catch. एकदम simple questions नहीं है. ये इसीलिए नहीं है ताकि आप कुछ नया सीखो questions के अंदर. So he is saying that Mr. Popat is from Gujarat and he has purchased the goods from Tirath Ram in Punjab, but he has taken the goods on his own. So he has taken the delivery ex factory sale है ये. So he has taken the delivery of the goods at the factory gate, and then he has taken the goods on his own to his location in Gujarat. Now, what will be the place of supply? Very simple, two options are given to you. You have to tell me the correct answer. Let us see if any of you have marked it in these, answered it in the Zoom link also. Okay, few responses are there. That is, you all got caught here. This question has again a tricky point. Okay, Vedant is saying, see the leaderboard at last, it will save our time. Okay, Vedant, what I will do now is I will not tell everybody's name, only top 3 students, because at least it keeps encouraging you to come, at least if you are somewhere on the top or you have been there in that chart, that will give you a sense of pride or sense of achievement. So I will just take a glance at it and I will not read out all the names. That will save the time because it's already 8:16, that I understood. So we have to save our time. So last few seconds for this particular question, 42 students have answered this. And time is up. Okay. So Jaya again on the top and Anubhav on number 2. And see, 23 out of 53, 23 students have answered it correctly. 21 students have answered it wrongly. Again, you got caught in this particular question where I found generally the number of incorrect options to be high. That means some tricky point was there and that has actually trapped you. See, what section 10(1)(a) provides? 10(1)(a) provides that the place of, in case where the supply involves movement of the goods, then the place of supply shall be the place where such movement of goods terminates. Now, in this question, if you see, Mr. Popat was pertaining to Gujarat. He was from Gujarat. He came to Punjab and he had an ex-factory purchase. That means he took the delivery of the goods from the factory at the in Punjab itself, from the factory of Telecom and Company. But the same was finally transported to Gujarat. So since the goods were, in fact, this question, even if you have not attended it correctly, but this is very, very important point. So I want all of you to know this point, that since the delivery of the goods has been, the goods have been moved, finally the movement of the goods has terminated in Gujarat, whether done by recipient or done by supplier, the place of supply will remain the place where the movement of goods has actually terminated. तो यहाँ पर goods की जो supply है, जो goods की movement है, वो गुजरात में terminate हुई है. तो अगर आपने चाहे वो पोपट ने की है, चाहे वो तीरथराम एंड कंपनी ने goods deliver करे हैं गुजरात में, but finally goods गुजरात में जाकर रुके, तो वही आपका place of supply है. I hope this point is also clear to you all. बोलती transportation is handed over to the recipient place of, no, यहाँ पे वो supply नहीं है. यहाँ पर जो प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई, देखो ये भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आप जब व्हेन यू आर अटेम्प्टिंग अ प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई क्वेश्चन, यू शुड सी व्हाट इज द एग्जैक्ट नेचर ऑफ सप्लाई देयर. गुड्स की सप्लाई को आप सर्विस मत कंफ्यूज करना. यहाँ पे ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ऑफ गुड्स नहीं है. ऐसा नहीं है कि हमने सिंपल पूछा प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई ऑफ द गुड्स. द क्वेश्चन व्हिच आई एम आस्किंग यू इज दैट व्हाट इज द प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई ऑफ द गुड्स. जस्ट अ मिनट, लेट मी सी द क्वेश्चन. द place of supply, I have not mentioned actually goods, but place of supply is the, okay, some of you might have answered it assuming that I'm asking for the goods transported by Mr. Popat to Gujarat on his own, then that would be the problem. That maybe because of that you have done a wrong answer. But I'm asking for place of supply of the goods. In next question, I will make it clear what place of supply I'm asking for. So place of supply जो goods का है, वो 10(1)(a) से गाइड होगा और वहां पर आपका ट्रांसपोर्टेशन वाला प्रोविजन नहीं लगेगा. अगर हम सेकंड पार्ट की बात करते हैं कि जहां पर गुड्स को हैंड ओवर किया गया है, वहां हम अभी बाद में जाएंगे, वो आई विल नॉट आंसर बिकॉज दैट विल आंसर माय सम ऑफ द फ्यूचर क्वेश्चंस. सो विद दिस वी कम टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. सो वी शुड बी मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नाउ. Okay, you have not understood, Anil. See, in this question, just no, your point actually, Anil, your point is not wrong. What is the point here is, यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन में प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई जो हम पूछ रहे हैं, दो ट्रांजेक्शन है एक तरीके से. मिस्टर पोपट ने गुड्स खरीदे तीरथराम से और फिर मिस्टर पोपट ने ट्रांसपोर्टेशन सर्विसेज ली किसी वेंडर से जो हमें नहीं पता क्या है, गुजरात लेके गया. मैं आपसे प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई पूछ रही हूँ, प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स बाय तीरथराम टू मिस्टर पोपट. I'm not asking the place of supply of the transportation services taken by Mr. Popat from a vendor. उसका नाम वगैरह यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं दिया हुआ, वो ट्रांजेक्शन यहाँ पे हमने पूछी ही नहीं थी. आपने जो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ऑफ गुड्स की बात की है, वो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ऑफ गुड्स नहीं हो रहा है यहाँ पे. यहाँ पर गुड्स का सप्लाई हो रहा है, आप उसकी प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई निकाल रहे हो. पोपट ने कुछ गुड्स परचेज किए हैं तीरथ राम से, आपको उसका प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई निकालना है. पोपट गुजरात का है और तीरथ राम एंड कंपनी पंजाब की है. डिलीवरी भी उसने पंजाब में ले ली थी, लेकिन फिर उसने गुड्स को वो अपने खुद से ट्रांसपोर्टेशन अरेंज करके गुजरात में लेके आया. तो गुड्स की जो फाइनल जो मूवमेंट है वो कहाँ जाके रुकती है? गुजरात में जाके. इसीलिए 10(1)(a) के हिसाब से यहाँ पे 10(1)(a) लगेगा, सेक्शन 10(1)(a) ऑफ द IGST एक्ट. और उसके हिसाब से प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई विल बी द लोकेशन वेयर द मूवमेंट ऑफ गुड्स हैज टर्मिनेटेड, दैट इज गुजरात. ये ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ऑफ गुड्स का पॉइंट नहीं है. ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ऑफ गुड्स के लिए देन वी वुड हैव गिवन यू फुल इन्फॉर्मेशन कि कहाँ पे गुड्स हैंड ओवर हुए, जो सप्लायर था वो कहाँ का था, वो सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन होती है. यहाँ पे प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स था, यहाँ पे गुड्स वर्ड मिसिंग है, बट देन दिस पॉइंट इज रिगार्डिंग द प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स. Okay. Okay. Yes. I was talking about goods. One at supply end set. हाँ. वेदांत सप्लाई जो है वो पंजाब में एंड नहीं हुई है. सप्लाई पंजाब में एंड नहीं हुई है. यही पॉइंट आई वांटेड टू एक्सप्लेन इट टू यू, दैट the goods have been taken to Gujarat. Therefore, the delivery of the goods, the movement of the goods has actually terminated in Gujarat, and that will be the place of supply. क्योंकि इसमें ज्यादातर लोगों को ऑब्वियस आंसर लगता है कि पंजाब है, पंजाब में डिलीवरी ले ली, सप्लाई खत्म हो गई हमारी, और अब हमें वही उसी को ही प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई मानना है. बट आपके गुड्स फाइनली कहाँ तक पहुंचे हैं? आपके गुड्स गुजरात पहुंचे हैं, तो गुजरात इज द प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई. Abhinav has given me an elaborate reason for his answer as Punjab. Abhinav, I am moving to next question, but I will see this answer. Don't worry, your reasoning I will consider and I will explain you why is it not. Don't worry. Let's move to the next question. Gangadhar Limited wants to open a new branch office at Gurugram, Haryana. Gangadhar is from Maharashtra. It purchases a building for office from Gajodhar Builders of Gurugram. So इसने Gajodhar Builders एक building खरीदी अपनी. It also enters into a separate contract with Gajodhar Builders for purchase of pre-installed office furniture and fixtures in the building. So उसने दो चीजें खरीदी. एक तो उसने बोला बिल्डिंग दे दो आप मुझे अपनी, उसकी बिल्डिंग ऑलरेडी बनी हुई थी, इसने वो बिल्डिंग उससे गजोदर बिल्डर्स से खरीद ली. अब उस बिल्डिंग में बहुत सारा फर्नीचर था. दैट फर्नीचर ऑल्सो इट एक सेपरेट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करके उसने बोला ये फर्नीचर भी आपको मुझे बेचना है. सो देयर आर टू कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स, सेल ऑफ बिल्डिंग, सेल ऑफ फर्नीचर. प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई फॉर ऑफिस बिल्डिंग, प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई फॉर प्री इंस्टॉल्ड ऑफिस फर्नीचर एंड फिक्सचर्स. यहाँ पे बहुत क्लियरली क्वेश्चन में दिया है कि आपको प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई किसका बताना है. सो आई होप दैट विल बी इजी फॉर यू. You still have 1 minute, complete 1 minute. Read the question carefully and then answer it. दो चीजों का प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई आपको बताना है. ऑफिस बिल्डिंग जो गजोदर बिल्डर्स ने बेची है गंगाधर लिमिटेड को, और सेकंड जो प्री इंस्टॉल्ड ऑफिस फिक्सचर्स और फर्नीचर्स हैं उसका जो प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई है वो क्या होगा. आपके पास 4 ऑप्शन है. आई एम नॉट रीडिंग दी ऑप्शंस बिकॉज दैट विल टेक अवे योर टाइम. यू जस्ट हैव टू आंसर द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. In the meantime, I will see Abhinav's reasoning. Abhinav, I have read your reason and I will answer you at the end of the class so that others don't get disturbed by that. In case others also have doubt in the previous question, then I will take it at the end. Don't worry. But that point is right. You have to know that. Very good, Mustafa. Absolutely correct answer. You can answer me separately also at the individual to me also, because many of you are not writing the answer in the main chat box. Okay, Shamli, you also have a doubt in the previous question. At the end, I will definitely take it again. Don't worry. You didn't understand that because that was a bit tricky point and that was not the conventional answer. जो आप सबने सोचा था वो आंसर वो नहीं था, इसलिए आप सब लोग confused हैं. Don't worry, we'll see that. Let us see this question, that how you all have performed in this question. Okay, so out of 54, there are 12 correct answers in this particular question. Mustafa was right in this question C, and 23 have answered it incorrectly. But let us quickly see the leaderboard. So Jaya is on the top, and then Anubhav. No, I think this time Anubhav is on the top. Anubhav, Nitin, Arun, Nirhin and Kuldeep Nagar. So these are the top 5 students. And let me tell you what is the correct answer for this. The correct answer is, just a minute, it's not scrolling down. Problem is there in the system. Okay. So see, the correct answer is option D, or last option, that is not applicable, because office building is not a supply per se. Office building is a schedule 3 entry, schedule 3 item, that is sale of building. So sale of building, we all know, we had done in schedule 3 that it is not a supply. So place of supply provisions will not apply if it is not a supply. For pre-installed office furniture and fixtures, whereas in case of a supply, there is no movement of the goods, or you can say where the supply does not involve movement of the goods, then the place of supply will be the place where the goods are lying at the time of the delivery, or location of the goods at the time of delivery. So when the goods were delivered, the goods were located in Gurugram office, and therefore the location of the pre-installed office furniture and fixtures is Gurugram, Haryana. So correct option is option D. Let me see, some of you are writing in the chat box something. Let me see your doubts. Shamli, don't worry, at the end we'll do that question, definitely. Okay, but still, Mustafa, you have answered correctly, though you have not prepared, but your answer was correct. Kuldeep, your answer was also correct. Very good, Anil. Land and building is out of the scope of GST, and second case is Haryana. Very good, very good. Others also you can write. You're not giving me the correct answer, so you can write it separately to me in the chat box. Don't worry, don't write it to everyone. Some of you might be feeling that you don't want to share your answers with others, so you can share it separately in the chat box. Don't worry. So we are going to the next question. Tolaram Limited, a supplier registered in Uttar Pradesh, having principal place of business at Noida, asks Bholaram of Ahmedabad to deliver 50 washing machines to its buyer, Jholaram Limited at Jaipur. Read the question very carefully. Rajasthan. So 3 places are there. Tolaram from Uttar Pradesh, Bholaram from Gujarat, and Jholaram from Rajasthan. Tolaram has asked Bholaram to deliver the goods to Jholaram of Jaipur. The place of supply, now there are 2 supplies here. Supply between Tolaram and Jholaram, that means first person and this third person, Jholaram. And not third, don't go by my words, third person and first person. Tolaram and Jholaram ke beech mein place of supply kya hoga? And place of supply between Bholaram and Tolaram. These are the 2 queries which I am asking, 2 questions which I am asking, and your options are given on your screen. So you have to tell me the correct answer. You have complete 1 minute to answer. Yes, Mustafa, you are right. So you answered it on the basis of logic and you answered it correctly. So that's good that you are actually applying your mind while doing this. In the meantime, I will mention the reason for Abhinav's query. Okay. So this question is, but Aditya is saying this question is tricky and difficult. Yes, Aditya, it is a bill to ship to question, section 10(1)(b). Bill to ship to model, supplier place is the final destination of the goods. No, I have to see the question first of all. Bill to ship to is a bit different actually, Gulti. We have to see the point here. Let me first of all see how many of you have been to Tolaram and shipped to Jholaram. Very good, Navneet. That is the point. See the question. Let us see the question. Tolaram has, let us see how many of you have answered correctly. So this question has been answered incorrectly by more students than the students who have answered it correctly. Only 14 of you have answered it correctly. And incorrect 22 plus I am not able to, somehow I'm not able to scroll my screen in this case. I don't know why, but let's do the full question and let us see the leaderboard. So now we have the Anubhav, Arun, Nirhin, Julie Singh and Jaya Manocha. These are the top 5 students. Let us see the question again so that you can know that what is the correct answer. Before that, some of you are giving me some of the answers. This is not a simple game. The stack is stake is higher like KBC. If you lose, you will go down in the leaderboard. Yes, that is true, Mustafa. If you lose one of, even if single question answered wrongly, takes you down the leaderboard. So finally, Kabirjit has answered one question correctly. A is the correct answer. I think you all are right. Let me see what is the correct answer. I also have to figure out. So first transaction is between Tolaram and Jholaram. Tolaram और Jholaram के बीच की जो transaction है. If any of you want me to explain in English, I will explain it again. तो थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी है इसलिए मैं हिंदी में पहले समझा रही हूँ. तोलाराम और झोलाराम के बीच की ट्रांजैक्शन एक नॉर्मल सप्लाई ट्रांजैक्शन है, बिल टू शिप टू ट्रांजैक्शन नहीं. तोलाराम ने झोलाराम के पास गुड्स भिजवा दिए. झोलाराम मस्ट हैव कम टू तोलाराम की आप मुझे ये गुड्स 50 वॉशिंग मशीन भेज दो, तो उसने भोलाराम से लेके भेज दिए. अब तोला और झोला के बीच की ट्रांजैक्शन एक नॉर्मल सप्लाई ट्रांजैक्शन है, सेक्शन 10(1)(a अप्लाई होगा और वहां पर लोकेशन विल बी लोकेशन वेयर द मूवमेंट ऑफ गुड्स हैज टर्मिनेटेड. मूवमेंट ऑफ गुड्स कहाँ टर्मिनेट हुआ है? राजस्थान में. तो पहले वाले क्वेश्चन का आंसर है राजस्थान. प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई बिटवीन तोला एंड झोला इज राजस्थान. सेकंड ट्रांजैक्शन इज बिटवीन तोला एंड भोला. So Tolaram has asked Bholaram to deliver the goods to a recipient. Now here Tolaram is a third person. Bholaram ने goods जो हैं वो recipient, Bholaram has delivered the goods to the recipient. Bholaram ने goods receive किया तो recipient तो Bholaram ही रहेगा. भोला ने झोला को goods क्यों दिए? क्योंकि Tolaram has asked him to deliver those goods. Now Tolaram is the third person. So wherever the goods are delivered by the supplier to the recipient on the direction of a third person. यहाँ पे third person कौन है? Tolaram is the third person. Then the goods shall be deemed to have been delivered to such third person. तो actually में goods झोला के पास जा रहे हैं, लेकिन क्योंकि यहाँ bill to ship to transaction बन गया ये, तोलाराम ने अपने लिए goods नहीं बोले थे, अपने खुद खरीदे थे, लेकिन बोला आप झोला को दे दो ये goods. So on his direction, he is the third person on whose direction the goods have been delivered to the recipient Jholaram. And in this case, 10(1)(b will apply. Section 10(1)(b) says in that case, goods shall be deemed to have, deem कर लेंगे हम ऐसा कि ये goods actually में तोलाराम को ही receive हुए हैं and that will become his place of supply. तो तोलाराम का place of supply क्या location क्या थी? उत्तर प्रदेश थी. वो registered person है, उसकी location उत्तर प्रदेश है. Answer will be option A, that will be Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh. That makes it the correct answer. So अब एक बार इस question में most of you could not answer it correctly that I have seen. Only I think 10 or 12 of you answered it correctly. But there was a tricky one. ये question actually में थोड़ा tricky था क्योंकि bill to ship to थोड़ा सा it takes time for you to understand that. Let me see your doubts or points here. Okay. This is ma'am material quiz, so we'll know this answer is simple. मुस्तफा क्या कहना चाह रहे हो आप? एक बार दोबारा लिखो. One is bill to ship to model, other is normal one. ठीक है अनिल, बिल्कुल सही पॉइंट है. One is simple question. जो तोलाराम और एक मिनट, let me see. The Tolaram and Jholaram transaction is a normal 10(1)(a) transaction, and Bholaram and Tolaram is a 10(1)(b) transaction, that is bill to ship to transaction. So I hope this question also is clear to all of you. जहाँ doubt है आप please mark करके रखो. At the end we'll discuss so that others can leave and we can discuss those doubts where few of you have the doubts. Okay. Now let us move to the next question because we have 5 more questions for the quiz. Next question on your screen. Mr. Bindusar, an unregistered person under GST law, places an order on Amazing.in, an e-commerce platform, for supply of a laptop of latest configuration for his son, which is to be delivered at his residential address. वो कहाँ का है residential address? बरेली, उत्तर प्रदेश का. Mr. Bindusar, while placing the order on e-commerce platform Amazing.in, provides the billing address of the apartment located in Mumbai, Maharashtra. So billing address is Mumbai, Maharashtra. Delivery address is Bareilly, Uttar Pradesh. You have to tell me that what would be the place of supply in this particular question. You have more than a minute to answer. 1 minute, 20 seconds are there with you. You have to answer the question. Okay. Mustafa is saying this is the same question which is there in the material. Vishal said took that question. Yes. So when we drafted the material, we explicitly put this question because we wanted to tell you about the bill to ship to concept, and generally there are two transactions involved. That is why this question we have put in the study material. These quiz time questions have been very meticulously drafted. You will see that because we have spent so much time in drafting them to make you concepts clear. Some more questions you will find here. Kabijit, your answer is correct answer. And Jaya, let me see option. What is this? Yes. Still, we have 35 seconds, so I can't tell the correct answer. In fact, asking for the answers in the main, in everyone's chat box, that is a bit, this gives you an idea actually. Yes, Mustafa, you're right. Your answer is right. Last few seconds for this particular question. Location of the recipient, that is true, Anil. And that location here, two locations of recipient have been mentioned. That is why we have to see. No need. That's what I will tell you, that what is the point here. So let us see the question. How many of you have answered it correctly? So out of 54, 15 have answered it correctly and 21 have answered it wrongly. So again, this question has stumped you all. But I think it was from the provisions which you have gone through in the question. This was based on a circular actually. In case of the 10(1)(c)(a), 10(1)(c)(a) provides that whenever a supply is made to an unregistered person, then in that case, the location of recipient is the place of supply, but the state which the unregistered person has actually mentioned in the invoice. So even if he mentions the name of the state in the invoice, that would suffice and that will be taken as the place of supply. But in case of the e-commerce transactions, generally there is a difference between the billing address and the shipping address. So 10(1)(c)(a) provision, let me see once again. It is the location as per the address of the said person which he has recorded in the invoice, because it is an unregistered person. Some unregistered person has come to your shop and he has asked you to give you some goods. For example, medicines. He has come and he has asked you to give you the medicines and you have not recorded his address. In case you have not recorded the address, then the supplier becomes the place of supply, location of supply. But if you have asked for the address and he has not given you the full address, he has just given you the state that I belong. You are in Uttar Pradesh, he has given you the address of Delhi. So in Noida, some medicines have been purchased. So he gave you the address of Delhi. He said, mention Delhi. That will also suffice as place of supply and Delhi will be the place of supply. But in case of e-commerce transactions, the doubt which came was that sometimes there is a difference between place of delivery and place of delivery address and billing address. So I have my billing address. I am like in this question, Bindu sir has his billing address as his Mumbai apartment. He resides in Mumbai. His son was there in Uttar Pradesh, Bareilly, where his residence is there, and he wanted to get it delivered there. So his delivery address and his billing address is different. So in that case, जहां पर actually में goods deliver हुए हैं, उसको ही place of supply माना जाता है. क्योंकि यहाँ पर बिंदु सार ने दो एड्रेस अपने दिए. अगर वो एक ही एड्रेस देता तो ये कंफ्यूजन नहीं आता. बट यहाँ पर दो एड्रेसेस थे. Then the question came before the department that which of the two addresses we need to take for determining the place of supply. So department clarified that in this case, the place of delivery shall be the place of supply where the goods are delivered to an unregistered person via e-commerce platform. So Navneet is saying address of Bindu sir is provided Mumbai. So Navneet, I think you have got this point now, that though his billing address is Mumbai, but we have to take his delivery address as per the circular, and that makes logic also. जहां पर goods actually में deliver हुए हैं, क्योंकि वो unregistered person है. Registered person के case में we take their registered place of business. Generally आप देखोगे जितने भी place of supply provisions हैं, when some services, except some specific services, otherwise आपको पता है default provision भी यही कहता है that recipient location is the place of supply when they are registered persons. But here it is an unregistered person, so place of delivery has been taken as the place of supply. डिलीवरी एड्रेस टू मुंबई महाराष्ट्र डाल दिया तो डिलीवरी भी वही होनी चाहिए. डिलीवरी एड्रेस अगर वो मुंबई महाराष्ट्र डाल देता तो फिर डिलीवरी वही होती संतोष, और फिर उस केस में आपका प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई भी मुंबई महाराष्ट्र ही होता. लेकिन इसने यहाँ पर क्या किया है, उसको गुड्स डिलीवर कराने थे बरेली में, तो उसने बरेली का एड्रेस दिया और बरेली का एड्रेस देने से प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई बरेली हो गया. Let us see who is on the top now. Arun, Nirhin, Julie Singh, Naveed, and Anubhav. So top 5 students who are there who are topping the chart. Congratulations to all of you. And let us go to the next question of the quiz. So I hope this quiz you are finding it useful because you are learning new points. So don't feel that you're not able to answer it correctly. My intention is not to demotivate you. My intention to tell you is the new points that you need to focus. ये आपको किस तरीके से इस चैप्टर को पढ़ना है कि ये क्वेश्चंस भी आपको आने चाहिए. So we are going to the next question straight away. In a New Delhi Kota train, goods were taken on board at Mathura station. Goods were taken on board at Mathura station. Mr. Rajat boarded the train at Savai Madhopur, Rajasthan station, and he consumed the goods at Kota, Rajasthan. तो यहाँ पर 4 लोकेशंस आपके पास हैं. इनफैक्ट आपकी ट्रेन कहाँ से स्टार्ट हुई है? न्यू दिल्ली से. गुड्स आपके ऑन बोर्ड आए हैं मथुरा पे. रजत जो है उन्होंने सवाई माधोपुर से ट्रेन ली है और कोटा राजस्थान में उन्होंने वो गुड्स को कंज्यूम कर लिया. उन्होंने वो गुड्स खरीदे और उन्होंने वो गुड्स को कंज्यूम कर लिया. नाउ यू हैव टू टेल द प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई ऑफ द गुड्स कंज्यूम्ड बाय मिस्टर रजत. लेट मी एक्सप्लेन इट टू यू, क्लैरिफाई इट टू यू. प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स कंज्यूम्ड बाय मिस्टर रजत. 4 options are given to you: New Delhi, Mathura, Savai Madhopur, Kota. Savai Madhopur और कोटा दोनों राजस्थान में, but we want to segregate कि आप अगर उन दोनों में से भी कोई ले रहे हो तो कौन सा प्लेस होना चाहिए. You should know the exact provision. Thank you, Mustafa. You found this quiz learning. So, and those of you who are not able to answer it correctly, don't feel disheartened. You are actually learning something new. So that is how you should take it. Yes, Kabirjit, absolutely correct answer. Absolutely correct. So I think last few seconds are there for this question. In case of goods convenience place, yes. Anil, you are right. The provision you have correctly mentioned. You have to tell me the correct answer. So I hope 32 of you have already attempted it. We'll take some more, few more seconds and then we'll close this question. See, you have to recall the provision, Mustafa. Some gap is still there in the provision. So I hope all of you would have answered this question by now. Let us see. So Julie is on the top and then Medha is there. And what is the correct answer? Correct answer is Mathura. So at least in this question, I can say number of incorrect options is less and correct options is, I think, more. So 23 of you have answered it correctly. And the correct option, 10 plus 2 plus 2. So that means 14 of you have answered it wrongly. So still, it's a very good score. More of you have answered it correctly. Let us see what is the correct provision. In case where the goods are consumed on board or where the goods are supplied on board a conveyance, then the place of supply is the place where those goods on board हुआ था. उससे हमें फर्क नहीं पड़ता. हमें फर्क किससे पड़ता है? Goods कहाँ पर उस conveyance में लोड किए गए हैं. तो वो प्लेस हमारा मथुरा उत्तर प्रदेश था. हो रहे हैं या जो पर्सन जिसने गुड्स को कंज्यूम. टू यू ऑल, yes, I will show the leaderboard में. In fact, transit question. In fact, okay. Because I'm not getting the refresh option. Dinanath, Medha. So Medha, you are to all of you who are there on the leaderboard. Okay, Nitin, you have mistakenly okay. So I got that point. So all of you, please note that this Nirhin, it's not Nirhin who is on number 2. It's Nitin. By mistake, he has typed it wrongly. So let us go to the next question. Devkata की कंपनी ने गुवाहाटी की कंपनी को has the registered office in Guwahati, registered under GST. यानी दी गई है मुंबई महाराष्ट्र ऑफिस में of Sun Cements Limited. Sun Cements Limited is the recipient. In this given case, place of supply of GST. You have to reconsider your answer, Kabirjit. See how much time is left. In fact, my timer is also not working today to show you the correct time. But I hope this question, I think, would have been comparatively easy. So, okay, last 22 seconds left. And our timer is showing that very few seconds are left for this particular question. Be fast in marking your answers, students. And here the services are being provided to a registered person. Okay. So the question has ended. And let us see how many of you have marked it correctly. 12 students have marked it correctly. 23 have again gone wrong. So when as third person, now since these services provided, but here the training was provided to third person. Now which of these two? There are two registered officers. In case this person was not called, the shall be the location of the registered person. Then the location of registered person shall be. Okay, Kabirjit, now you got this point. Okay, 12, 4. I have to see this clause in that case. To deliver the goods in Maharashtra is registered, then what would be the that in Delhi? The service of handing over, because in the previous question, some of you got, I'm giving you enough hints, I know, but since I called them in the first place, so I'm just giving you small hints so that it becomes easy for all of you. Answer this question. First of all, you have to identify that what would be the place of supply in case of transportation of goods services. Registered? Yes, Kabirjit, you are absolutely correct in your answer. You have identified the correct point that the place. Yes, Meera, it's always motivating to see your name on the leaderboard. That is why I keep showing to see that name. That will decide the GST type and answer this question. Yes, it's here on your screen. To deliver the goods in Maharashtra. Same question. What had I answered you? Answer this question. What would be the place of supply if Mr. A is unregistered? The 3 options is the correct option. Answer this question. And this was already have answered this. I will give you 20 more seconds to answer this question, and then I will end the question and end the quiz for today. Okay. Mr. A from Uttar Pradesh has Mr. A is doing silly mistakes. Never a single question correctly. I can assure you that after this quiz, you would have been much more aware. You would have been much more confident about this particular chapter. You should answer is Delhi. Why? Because yes, I will show the leaderboard. I will show the complete leaderboard now. I will try to show top 20 of services provided to an unregistered person. Then the place of supply is the place where such goods are handed over for transportation to the recipient. Now here the goods are being handed over to Blue Dart. Let me end the quiz. I think I have to end the quiz. Then the topped the chart today. So Julie is the GST titan for the day. But on my some problem, let me refresh. Yes, that doesn't matter. Now, Mr. A is sending these goods to a registered person, to an unregistered person. That does not matter because here, Gulti, we are not talking. Now, performance chart that. So, Meda on Sakid Bhai, Rohan, me, Soni, Adil Khan, Pooja, Vedant, Lakshmi, Preet, end of the quiz. So, I hope you like this. And then once we can share in passing the paper. Ashlesha is saying, very interesting, ma'am. Please conduct. No, in the previous class itself. Though in the last class, I had told you, you can come more to the underperformance, Kabirjit. You have participated. So Ashlesha is saying your words are really, really motivating. Thank you for all that. Abhinav, you want to have some reasoning for some particular questions. Don't worry. Anubhav, ma'am, please. This can also confirm whether timer is visible to you all in your devices, not in my screen, in devices. Aditya is saying in this quiz, my learn and confidence. Okay, so you have gained confidence on yourself, Aditya. That is very good. That is very good. In fact, I request all of you to share the feedback for today's class. That how did you find the class? How are the what are the features you are actually liking? What are the improvements you want to do? Thanks, BOSR School. Kuldeep is saying very good, Kuldeep. You are finding it like a school, and you have once again gone back to your school time memories. Because, we used to generally have quizzes in schools only. So next quiz, I will definitely tell you in advance. that when will I be taking the next quiz, because next quiz a substantial amount of quantum of topic should be completed. So I will tell you at the end. Okay, timings are not shown in desktop and above, then I will take care of that. I will try to figure out something if it is possible. Okay, so Muzahid is saying, thank you, ma'am. These activities last time to compare better now, ma'am. I'm feeling very happy. Okay, Muzahid is feeling very happy because I think he was topping the chart, and that is what we all want you, that your confidence is boosted. So your confidence is actually boosted. Thank you, Muzahid. I'm very happy to see that. Your way of teaching, Julie is saying your way of teaching and explaining is always encouraging. Everything becomes crystal clear. Thank you, Julie. Thank you so much. Love your way of teaching. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us and BOS team. Thank you, Julie. This is what BOS team actually wants. The entire BOS team wants you students to perform well in your exams, you students to understand the concepts and enjoy our classes. So these classes are for your benefit, and I can assure you that every person in BOS is putting hard work, is putting efforts to make you people enjoy these classes, understand and learn the concept in a student-friendly manner. So is everyone? Anubhav, you can confirm it from others. So please answer Anubhav's query. He's answered. He has mentioned in the main chat. Thank you for the wonderful session. Also, thanks. Yes, sir. I will convey your message to Vishal, sir, also, that you have really liked the class. So I think we'll be stopping the recording here, because so that some students, 1 or 2 students had a doubt in first few questions. I can interact with them and I can clarify those doubts. Any of you have any other doubt before we stop the recording? Because sometimes your doubts help others also. Thank you, Santosh. Others can leave the chat, because you don't spend your time on something which you are not actually interested in. So you can, at that time, you can leave. Okay, I will unmute you, Anubhav. Just a minute. So any other doubt? Anybody wants to ask anything else? Okay. Ashok ji, recording band kar sakte hain hum. We can end the class. We'll not end the class. We'll just switch off the recording, so that some students who have few other doubts, I can clarify them. Okay.
Recording stopped.
बंद कर दीजिए.
रिकॉर्डिंग बंद कर दीजिए यूट्यूब की.
हाँ, रिकॉर्डिंग बंद कर दीजिए, क्योंकि फिर इनफॉर्मल डाउट्स हैं, फिर उसमें कोई इशू नहीं है.